Pittsburgh, city of brooding gothic horror. Between these three rivers run rivers of blood. Good evening, SOBs, and welcome to a special Gen Con edition of Vampires of Pittsburgh. I am your storyteller and host, Jared Logan, and I'm so happy to have you all here today to watch us as the Anarch War begins in earnest. My green screen just fell down on me. So that might happen again. I'll tell you what, since we have Gen Con attendee players today, if at any point my green screen falls down on my head, they get +1 to their next roll. I feel like that's like a good con game extra rule that we can add. Guys, I am so excited for these Gen Con games, and this is the first of several. We're doing games today, right now. We're doing one tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we are going to be going live on Saturday and on Sunday with the part two of the story you're seeing tonight. The part 2 of this story will be on Saturday. So tonight, it's very exciting. Our Gen Con attendee players are going to get to go into the world of Vampires of Pittsburgh that we've created on the stream. They're going to stab things, blow things up, shoot them with guns, and bite things. And they're going to break all of our toys. And we're going to see how much they can just lay waste to the world of Vampires of Pittsburgh before we bring our all-star cast of Thomas Middleditch, Ashley Birch, and Ross Bryant back in on Saturday. So since we have a limited time to complete this incredible Anarch War adventure, I'm going to start bringing in your cast. As the vampire Lexi Fox, please welcome John Broody.
Hey, Lexi is a Toreador. He's a huge rock star and a little bit of a loose cannon.
Very good. I have Anthony Tasnick as Bruno Siciliano.
Good evening. Bruno pulls up on his bike wearing his gang leathers, covered in tats. A very large gentleman, balding on top, older than most vampires you've seen before.
Beautiful. I've got Sean Doremus as Oliver Sorensen.
Yeah, Oliver Sorensen is the best-dressed Malkavian sociopath you've ever met. Doesn't have time for the Camarilla's bullshit, and just wants to have a good time.
Excellent. I've got Amanda Gali as Rosie Jensen.
Rosie is a Bruja. She is a large woman dressed in motorcycle leathers with a pink mohawk, very into punk culture, and she also pulls up on a bike.
Damn, these guys, it's a biker gang. It's a biker gang versus the Camarilla tonight with a couple assorted rock stars and well-dressed Malkavians. As Hershey, please welcome Ryan Forbes.
Hello, Doc Hershey is a Malkavian vampiric doctor. He rolls up wearing night trial black leather gloves, or well, latex, I guess, and like a surgical mask.
Great. Wow. I mean, this adventure takes place in 2019, but how forward ready that Dr. Hershey is. And finally, I think he's ready. Please welcome as Jackson Miller, Mr. David Robbins, everybody.
Hey everyone, Jackson is a caitiff from Milwaukee, hiding out from the cam within the Anarchs, being falsely accused of diablerie.
Very good. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this game tonight. Let's get right into it. At the end of the last episode of Vampires of Pittsburgh last night, the Anarch Revolution in Pittsburgh began. Curtis Krieger and Jen Brown took the reins, took the leadership of the Anarch Revolution and decided that it was time to strike tonight. And so your characters were all part of that Anarch rabble that was listening to them make speeches and kind of decide the direction that the Anarch movement would go. And it was decided that tonight in Pittsburgh, heads would roll, the Camarilla leadership would be pulled off of its perch. And so right now you are at the Carey Blast Furnaces. The Carey Blast Furnaces are an old abandoned industrial site where there are these giant furnaces that are serving as sort of a camp, a staging ground for the Anarch revolt that is happening tonight. And you all have been picked as a team to undergo a very special and important mission for the revolt that is taking place tonight. And here to give you your marching orders and to give you your mission and let you know what your mission is the new leader of this Anarch movement, Mr. Curtis Krieger.
Hey.
How's it going, everyone?
Ross Bryan is Curtis Krieger, everybody. Give him digital claps.
yes.
Elegant clap.
Yeah, adorable. Okay, yeah. Not a lot of time. Yeah, I think, okay, if y'all have been gathered up, I think,
They're standing in front of you. You've got you're on top of that van in the middle of the Carry Blast Furnace's courtyard, and
Right.
This group has been brought to you, and you have a very special mission in mind for them. Curtis, let them know their mission.
All right, damn it. Listen, we don't have a lot of time. The clock is working against us. And so, I was told you were a batch that can make things work under pressure. We're just fucking crazy enough to get stuff done when the chips are down. And the things are about to go down. Look, we're going to have to split up into groups, and you're in charge of something incredibly important. I need you all to go downtown. The 6 of you are going to go right into the belly of the beast. You are the ones that I need to go to U.S. Steel and extract Adelaide Ross from Elysium. Your mission tonight, before sunup, is to make it down to U.S. Steel, find entry, get into her offices or gain access to her, and bring her down. Bring her back to the furnaces, in torpor or out. Doesn't matter, as long as she comes back here and under your control. Now, for those of you who haven't been so lucky as to enter those premises, you can either enter through the elevators in the lobby. Now, those will only take you so far, though. Elysium is on the 60th floor of the U.S. Steel building, but the elevators will only take you up to about the 57th floor, where you got a switch on the sky deck level to take you up there. You'll need a key. Now, the security guards have it, but only the ghoul security guards. You can notice them by the fucking tattoo they got on their neck.
Goals.
But they're the only ones. If you can snatch the key off them or get one of them in your power, that's the only way you can gain entry that I can think of. Now, Adelaide's actual offices on the 61st, 62nd, 63rd floor. I should know. I've been in and out several times. Now, there's another way up, but it's through the parking deck in the basement. There's one elevator that'll take you all the way up to Elysium, but you need a full hand scan to get in. And that's guarded by a ghoul as well. Listen, I know this is hard. We haven't had a lot of time to plan. We haven't had a lot of time to make choices. We just got to make hard choices and make them fast. And that's what I need you to do. While the rest of us are out dealing with other problems and starting fires as need be. You're going to cut off the head of this beast. Are you with me? Are you going to do it? So you can cut the fucking leash that's been trying to tow us behind him for your entire unlife?
Yeah, consider it cut.
Absolutely.
Hey, is this Adelaide? Lexi just smiles and thinks to himself, she hot?
This is something you think or say.
No, I'm saying it.
Hey, I'm not
Lexi's got like a feather boa and leather pants and a big oversized cowboy hat. It's like Vince Neil out of the 80s.
Bullshit is that?
I just kind of look you up and down. I'm like, yeah.
Curtis,
I don't know.
you don't care about
I've seen higher.
collateral damage as much as possible. It sounds what you're looking for. So you don't care who's left living in this building.
I just care that she's back. What you do is up to you.
But you want her in one piece, though.
Might be preferable to know things that she knows. What matters is that she comes back.
So yes, okay.
Right.
All right. Curtis.
I heard maybe.
Curtis is giving you your marching orders. Curtis, thank you so much, Ross. And I can answer any other questions you have. You've gotten your mission. Any final advice for them, Curtis? Any final send-off you want to give them? or just a smoldering look is fine as well, of course.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. let's just hop off the car, just kind of like hand like this meme all around.
Nice.
And just like, here's hoping we all live to see the sun go down. And then turn and walk. And as I go, Ruby kind of pipes up and just like, woof, in a very encouraging way.
Hey, there you go. That's lovely. Another digital round of applause for Ross Bryant as Mr. Curtis Trigger. Ross, I love you.
Good luck.
We're going to take Curtis out now. And I am going to give you, let's see, it's 4:15 right now. I think 15 minutes to plan. If you don't need all 15 minutes, no problem. Planning can include casing the joint, right? Like you could say, hey, my Anarch buzzes by on his motorcycle and tries to notice this or notice that. That's completely fine as well. And just to make sure that it's a little bit orderly, I'm going to go to you one by one, and you can kind of give your thoughts on maybe how to plan this attack. So, and just to review, because I know sometimes there's a lot of information coming at you all at once, I'm going to repeat what Curtis said. Adelaide Ross is the Prince of Pittsburgh. Your job is to go to the U.S. Steel building and drag her out of it and bring her back to the Anarch camp. There are 2 ways to get into the U.S. Steel building. Through the main lobby, but that only leads up to another bank of elevators where you need a key from some ghoul guards. Or through an elevator in the garage, but that requires a hand scan from one of the ghoul guards. You want to get up to the floors where Adelaide kind of makes her haven and where Elysium is located. And those floors are floors 60, 61, 62, and 63. So that is what he told you. So I'm going to call on you each one at a time. And if you have a question, you can ask me. I can kind of play Curtis or, the other Anarchs who know things. And if you want to do something to kind of help prep for this, you can tell me that you're doing that. And if you want to just kind of suggest something to the group, you can do that. So let's start with Lexi Fox, who definitely is a character I feel like it has no problem speaking first.
No, absolutely not. So Lexi's sitting with his part of his entourage. He brought Little Bo Pete, his sheep, along. He pets his sheep. He goes, muscles and guns aren't really my thing, but I can talk my way. And if I bring my guitar here, I can probably put on a pretty good performance to distract some of the ghouls that we need, or anybody. But I'm leaving the muscles and the guns up to you guys. When Adelaide, though, when we get to her and she sees these steely blue eyes, he lifts up his sunglasses. She'll just melt in Lexi's hand. And I blow a kiss.
All right, so a lot of you are probably feeling less sure about this mission now. Probably a little worried that your team of commandos has been saddled with a rock star, but maybe he is a weapon that can be used in the right circumstances. Bruno, Siciliano, your take on the mission, or any thoughts, things you'd like to prep, anything?
I want to take a ride into the parking garage and see if I can get an idea how you get in and out and find that elevator as I'm driving around.
I think that is completely a good idea. And so we're going to handle this now. When is this happening chronologically? I don't know. We can figure that out later, but safe to say that Bruno kind of cruises through. He cruises down into the parking garage, cruises around and back out, and just tries to kind of case that parking garage entrance. And Bruno, you do get eyes on that extra elevator. There's a freight elevator, and then you see an elevator that's oddly guarded. It's got a security guard right beside it, and you see that keypad. You see that hand pad. And I would like for you to make an intelligence plus technology roll. If you make this roll, no wait, all you need are 2 successes. If you make this roll, you'll know something very important about that keypad. If you don't, you'll tell your fellow Anarchs what you learned.
1 success.
1 success, not enough to know the special thing about the keypad, but you at least know that there's only one guy down there right now. There's only one guy.
And his arm looks like a chicken bone that I could snap off to use his hand.
I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, he doesn't look like much of a problem for Bruno. Oliver Sorensen, it is your turn. What would you like to add to the planning, or would you like to make any suggestions?
Well, I'm thoroughly confused at the presence of a sheep and or a guitar in our party, as they don't seem to have any kind of utility in this situation or in
Fair.
the world at large. But
In the world at large.
I am very interested in knowing the situation regarding that freight elevator, because I feel as if taking a hand off of somebody is easier than taking down a unknown number of ghouls. So I would like to, just to be sure that the freight elevator seems like the best option, I would like to case the other elevator and have a drift past.
So there were 2 elevators down there. One is this is in the garage, kind of under the U.S. Steel building. One is a freight elevator. It's like a normal freight elevator. And the other one is this special elevator that Bruno just cased, where there is a ghoul and a hand pad. So which one are you looking closely at?
The one in the lobby.
Oh, no, you're going to the lobby instead.
I'd like to see if I can have a pass by the lobby and see how that elevator looks from the
That's
bottom.
a great idea. Okay, great. Let me see. I think that if you give me a wits plus investigation roll, you can find out something about how that elevator works.
Okay.
And I'm going to go, listen, every success over 2 gives you an extra clue. I mean, every success over 1, sorry. So 2 successes gives you a clue, 3 gives you 2 clues, etc.
Okay. 3 successes.
Hey, there we go. 2 clues for you. You find out 2 things. One is that those elevators, they don't have buttons like on the wall. The security team in the lobby, they're the ones that send you up to your floor. You tell them where you're going, you get in, and they send you directly to that floor. That's clue 1. Clue 2 is that none of the security team in the lobby have those little tattoos that Curtis mentioned. That means that they're probably not holding keys that you need to get up to the higher floors. Okay, that is what you found out, and a useful turn that was. Let's talk to Jackson Miller. Jackson, what would you like to contribute to our little war party here before the mission gets going in earnest?
Well, I think to have too many people like casing the elevators in the parking deck is probably a bad idea. Tip our hand a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suggest that, look, going in the lobby, just like Oliver said, unknown quantity of guards or ghouls, and the elevators only get us so far. I don't think that's the way to go. Going down to the garage, taking the elevator that takes us straight to the floor we need to be at, where we got to take out one guy, even though they might see us on security cameras, is probably the way to go.
Okay, so you're suggesting the parking garage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Let's move to Doc Hershey, and you guys will have a little bit more time to discuss if you need it after we go through each of our player characters here. So, Doc Hershey, thoughts?
Yeah, so conversely to Lexi, who's like the super cool rock star, Doc Hershey looks like the nerdy professor. Also doesn't fit in this elite group of commandos. So he goes at some point during this discussion, I have 2 questions. 1, we are going to die again. And 2, whose hand? Does it matter what hand? Did we figure that out?
Well, I think Curtis told you that it had to be, or maybe he didn't, but I'm telling you, if you need more information, that it must be operated by the ghoul security force.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But a really good question.
Just to confirm it.
Yeah, no, that was a good question. We're it's all about getting clarity before you start acting, right?
Right.
So any other questions or prep that you'd like to do?
I think then he would try sort of some investigation, go to something like the Pittsburgh Records Office website or something and see if he can search up some plans of the building. Maybe there's something that's been registered with the city.
I'll allow it. I bet he's not going to the record office in the middle of the night.
Oh,
but
no, like their website.
It's all online, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's 64 stories high. So you were told that the Elysium and Adelaide's offices are in 60 through 63. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of like an extra kind of roof story with a helipad that became defunct in the 90s. It's constructed as a triangle. and it's constructed of black glass and steel. The building infrastructure, like the heating and cooling, electrical, water columns, are set into an interior triangular core, which traverses the length of the construction. And access to these is possible most easily from the basement or the roof. Actually, looking at the plans, you see that it's most possible from the sub-basement, right? You could get into that triangular core if you wanted. These systems are largely computer-controlled. Lobby has a bank of 8 computer-controlled express elevators. There are no call buttons. We've already covered that from when Oliver kind of cased the place. And it does appear to have security. And I think you could get all of that for free just by taking the time to kind of look up building plans and things like that. Okay. So maybe that's helpful, or maybe it's a bunch of extra info. It depends on how you utilize it. I'm going to move to Rosie Jensen. Rosie. By the way, Rosie's my daughter's name.
Nice.
So do her proud. What would you like to do to kind of prep or to kind of explain to people your strategy for this mission?
Well, I can talk or I can fight, but I'm not that good at sneaking. So if we go in, it's going to have to be fairly in the open. But I was wondering, that handprint, could it be any hand, or does it have to be a living hand like a cell phone?
Rosie, a very interesting question. Why don't you give me a intelligence plus an occult roll, and you can add a die because you've basically already had the idea, but I'm going to give you a bunch of information if you get this, and I need only one success because you already kind of thought of the issue.
One success.
That's enough. Rosie brings up the very good point, and this is easily forgot sometimes by the kindred, especially Anarchs. You guys have to get pink sometimes before you can use your electronic devices. That's going to apply to that handprint. So that handprint not only has to belong to the ghoul on duty, but he can't be dead already. He's got to be alive. So ripping off his arm is probably not a smart way to go about that.
What if he's really, really freshly dead?
There you go.
It'll be fine. We can keep him alive. I'm not worried about it.
I'm good at that.
So here we are. It's we have 3
Yeah,
minutes till we're going to start the mission. Does anybody have any final preparation instructions?
I make a phone call.
Okay.
I'm calling the local chapter of the Iron Horsemen and letting them know now's the time to go start the fires, baby.
Okay, great. And you're telling basically your sorry, are they your retainers or allies? They're your allies, right?
They're my allies.
Great. And where do you want them starting fires?
Not in the U.S. Steel building, but anywhere else other than the building that we're coming back to. I think as many fires as they can go. Have a good time. I'll owe them one, and I'll take care of them.
Great. I think as you're so you're keeping the police away. I see what you did there. Basically, as you guys are pulling out, and by the way, you still have you have 2 more minutes to do a little prep, but as you're pulling out of Carry Blast Furnaces and driving through the city toward the U.S. Steel building, you see a lot of cop cars kind of zipping back and forth, heading to some burnt down buildings, some classic Detroit shit right there. All right. So
RoboCop.
yeah. Well, I'm wearing my RoboCop shirt. In fact.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. So
I am Oliver.
Go ahead.
I am quite interested in the possibility of perhaps going through the utility core, as it seems to be the least watched of the options we have before us. Yes.
I have no problem keeping him alive if we need him alive. Lexi's got more than just his good looks.
Well, it's time for
sure
us
you
to
do.
make.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time for us to make a decision. No, I'm sorry, guys. Don't let me interrupt you too much.
No,
It's
you're
time
fine.
for us to make a decision. It's time to start the raid. It's time to go and pull the prince out of her ivory tower, or I guess in this case, obsidian tower. So, are you going to the parking garage? And is there a consensus here?
Should we all go the same direction?
Or we can split up.
Okay, so what I'll say about that is, if everybody really, really wants to do it, I might try it, but it may give us a little less playtime each, right? Because you know how this works when you split the party.
No, let's just go as one group. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, great. They gave you a van, so but yeah, if you want to be outriders on your motorcycles, by all means.
I'm on my bike.
Yeah.
I'm on my bike.
Okay,
If
great.
anybody wants to ride, there's room on the bitch seat.
No, I'll take the van. I want
I throw
dashing
some
off.
horns at her. I'm like, Rosie's got it.
I don't understand what is a bitch seat where a female dog sits.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Lexi, are you bringing the sheep or any of your retainers?
No, I'm gonna leave the sheep there because little Bo Peep gets ragey, and I don't want him to kill anybody.
Right.
So I'm gonna give him a nice pet and a kiss on the head, and I'm gonna leave him a bottle of Jaeger because he likes Jaeger the most. So I'm gonna take the van.
Your vehicles cruise down the street toward your mission location, and you see it looming over you. It truly is a foreboding building. If you've ever seen it, it truly is just the scariest looking. Definitely vampires work in their building. And some of the Anarchs refer to this place as the Dark Tower. But there it stands before you, the USX Tower, formerly the US Steel Building. And you can see where you can go down into the parking garage. So are we taking our vehicles down there?
I think so.
Yes.
If that's all right, that's a consensus.
Should we drive directly in?
It's a public building. I drive in.
Yeah, it's public.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. You drive in, and you have to perhaps hilariously, the little things about the modern world that vampires also have to do when they're on a blood mission to kill a prince is you all have to kind of pay for parking and take the little ticket. And then your van and your cycles are down in the bowels of the building. And because you've already sent Bruno, and I believe also Bruno might have been the only one to go down into the basement, right? So, Bruno, you can kind of point out where that elevator is with the ghoul. No one has found, where the access to the sub-basement that gives you access to the core is yet. So you'd have to look around a little bit for that. All right, but it sounded like the party was going to try to overpower this ghoul. Is that correct?
We could.
I'm heading right for the goal.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know who's doing this and
If you
how
want
they're
to
doing
try,
it.
if you want to try a non-lethal method, Lexi can entrance the ghoul.
We might want to make as little noise as possible until we can't.
Neck snapping's not that loud. So
I could.
Bruno is
the
heading
ghoul.
toward the ghoul. He looks over his shoulder. Lexi says, "We'll see who gets him first."
I'm following.
Fair enough.
Already the
right?
rabble are acting like rabble.
Oh no.
Okay, so the guy is standing there. He does look kind of like a scrawny geek, a young guy who's kind of just keeping his post. He's got the official USX security uniform on. It's like a jacket with USX on it and like the little security hat. He's got a walkie-talkie on his hip, and he's in like a little booth beside this elevator, and he immediately clocks you as you start walking toward him. And I think that he can definitely see Bruno. Lexi, are you being surreptitious?
Lexi's going to hang back and see what Bruno does first. So
Okay.
Lexi's a bit of a coward, so.
Bruno, as you walk forward, what are you doing? You are now visible. He is now looking at you.
I'm gonna go up and brutal feed on him.
Okay, great. So
As he's walking towards him, I'm still behind the wheel of the van. I'm going ahead and assuming I'm driving because I'm the smartest. And I'd like to just gas the van and run it into a pillar as he's approaching to attempt to shake him.
Doc will still be in the van too, and he'll be like, whoa, 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 wait.
to shock or distract our guard, right?
Correct.
How are we going to
okay,
get
the
out of here
guard-
without the van?
Okay, I actually think these are interesting. So we're gonna roll for all. We're gonna roll for all of this, and let me know if anybody has anything they want to add to it. Yes, Jackson.
I want to come out of the van kind of at the same time that Bruno did, or if he's on a bike or whatever. But I'm gonna, like a raptor, kind of come from the side. If Bruno's coming straight at him, I'm gonna kind of circle around and come from the side, from peripheral. So while the van is crashing and Bruno's coming straight at him, I'm out of the side.
You got his flank.
Yep.
Dr. Hershey, Rosie, what do you think of all this? Look, it's completely fine to say I'm holding back because maybe that'll keep your character out of danger for right now. But it's also fine if you want to join in or try to change something someone else is doing with your action.
Yeah,
I mean, like
Hershey,
Oliver kind of came up with a cool way to maybe make things a little more complicated for the guard.
Yeah, so Hershey's staying in the van.
I'm probably going to go up and flank with Jackson.
Okay, great. So 3 people are coming at this guy right now. What he's going to do is he's going to attempt to just activate his alarm because Bruno never got pink. So he is a big bearded corpse walking toward this guy who has a lot of experience with vampires. He knows what they look like. He knows how to spot them. That's the reason he was planted down here. So here's what he's going to do. He's going to roll his wits plus technology to see how quickly he can just set off the alarm. And you guys are going to roll your attacks, right?
If I notice him reaching for the alarm, can I try a leap at him?
You have soaring leap, do you not?
Same here.
Yes.
Okay, I think that you guys can attempt that. So it'll be kind of like if you guys get enough successes on this. So keep in mind, all he has to do is press a button. So right. I think all he has to do is get 1 success, right?
I think so for that.
But I'm going to let you guys cancel out his attempt if you can each get at least 2 successes each. Meaning, like, basically Jackson and Rosie, like, leap out of nowhere from either side of him, grab his arms, and then Bruno comes in and does the brutal feed, okay? So you guys each need 2. He only needs 1. Does that sound fair? Do we understand the stakes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here we go. So everybody can roll, and then I want to know. I'll call on you to tell me how many successes you got. Do you need to know what your dice pools are for these?
Yeah, because there's no.
Yeah, what are we rolling?
Okay. I think that since you are doing a soaring leap, Jackson and Rosie, I think that's it's a free ability you have. But let's see if there's a recommended dice pool for it.
And we're starting at 1 hunger, correct?
Right.
That's right. You're all starting at 1 hunger. I want a strength plus athletics roll from each of you. You're not really brawling with him so much as you were like leaping across many yards to like kind of grab him out of nowhere. Oliver, I want a drive plus dexterity, a dexterity plus drive roll from you. And your successes will kind of cancel out my Vamps successes or my Ghoul successes because you'll distract him. And Bruno, I mean, you know how to brutal feed. You know what your dice pool is for that?
Yeah, and I just
wait. Don't tell me yet. Okay, here we go. Don't tell me because if these guys don't manage to hold him and stop him from activating the alarm, you may brutal feed, but he may still get that alarm off. Okay, here he goes. He's gonna just reach for his alarm and press the alarm button on his walkie. And I know how many successes he got. So now let's see that car crash. Oliver Sorensen, how did you do on your drive plus dexterity roll? Dose successes. Okay, great. And so suddenly the van goes like through the parking lot and smashes into a pylon. There's an
as it happens, I turn to Doc and I say, "It's the logical thing to do."
It's a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, like the van is like smoking, and there's this enormous like cacophony of smashed metal. And now, Rosie, how'd you do on your leap?
3 successes.
Very good. That's enough. And Jackson, how did you do on your leap? There we go. And Bruno, I think I know, but how'd you do on that brutal feed?
7 successes with a crit.
7 successes with a crit. So
With a double crit, actually.
You suck his liver through his neck.
I can tell you our ghoul only got 2 successes to just press a button quickly on his walkie-talkie, which were already kind of... So basically Oliver's action like distracted him at the key moment. Suddenly...
He showed me his neck.
Yes, suddenly Rosie and Jackson just had him, and he's like, no, no, no! And then Bruno is on him, and it's a brutal feed. So it happens in like 1 turn, and it's a crit. So he is not just fed on. I think he's dead. He's dead. Bruno just like comes up from the body like blood and gore dripping from your jaws.
I hold his corpse, and I make sure my friends get a little bit of blood too. Spray it at him from the arterial.
Very good.
Lexi's disgusting. Lexi's like, no, gross.
Okay, so what now, everybody? That's the end of that little encounter.
I'm going to rapidly drag his hand toward his hand to the thing. Hold it up on the...
So the one thing I want to mention is because Bruno decided to spray you with arterial spray, Jackson and Rosie you're now covered, and Bruno as well, of course. You're now covered in blood. So that's unless you find a really good shower, it's going to make it impossible for you to move among normal people. Okay. In addition to, not remembering to get pink, you need to remember to wipe the gore and blood off of yourself. So, okay, what's next, guys? You're looking at a hand scanner, the almost headless body, because it's been bitten so hard the neck's almost gone, body of the ghoul guard, and an elevator that's like lit with a little light from above.
As I approach this mess after getting out of the ruined van, I just walk past Bruno and covered in his blood. I just look at him and I say, that was unwise. And continue towards the elevator.
I agree with Oliver. I'm going to hang with Oliver.
The hand.
Driving. We got to take the hand and
I'm dragging the body with the hand and trying to stick his hand up on the thing.
Okay.
I'll help him drag the body while trying not to get bloody.
So I believe we mentioned this. We said that the ghoul needed to be alive in order to use the handprint.
That's why I wanted to go non-lethal, but someone jumped ahead.
Well, that's how Anarchs work together sometimes.
I know.
Poorly. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the nicest storyteller that ever lived. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this die. Because it feels like, I don't think Bruno would just... You guys didn't sit there for 10 minutes and look at the body. You immediately dragged the body over, right? Mm-hmm. So if I roll this and it gets a, let's say, 6 or above, then he hasn't gone cold when you press his hand against the scanner. And let's see if it works.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Boom! Ding! The elevator lights up and it opens.
That was still unwise.
Yeah, that's what I've heard my whole life.
This is a $300.
My cellmate used to tell me I was unwise. Didn't end well for him.
The elevator stands before you. Where would you like to go?
I'm going to get inside the elevator.
Immediately walk into the elevator.
Is everybody getting in?
Yes.
Stand into the back corner.
I still dragging the guy with me because we might need his hand again.
Great. I don't think it'll be useful anymore, but you have the body of the ghoul and you are now all standing in the elevator.
As the
body
doors
in the hand is worth 2 in a bush.
As the doors close, I look over at Bruno and just say, your table manners are horrible.
So I've been told. His beard is all covered in blood. He's like, yeah. Throws out a little chunk.
So as the elevators start to close, suddenly the walkie-talkie on the ghoul's body squawks at you, and you hear a voice go, "Are you coming up? What's happening?"
I'm gonna hold my finger to my lips, grab the walkie, and press the talk button and like rub all over the mic to create some static, and then let go of the mic as if the walkie's malfunctioning.
Oh, good.
Ooh, what a very fun little ruse. Jackson, why don't you roll some manipulation plus technology for me? A dice pool I've never used.
Sure.
Jackson, I don't know if this would trick somebody, so I'm going to roll this guy's intelligence, and you roll your roll, and let's see who wins. That seems fair.
It's better than saying we're all fine here. We're fine down here.
I was waiting
How
for
are
you.
you?
All 6 of us. We're here. Good.
Jackson, my guy on the other end got 2 successes. How many did you get?
I would have less. I have 1.
Well done.
This guy tips his hand a little bit too, because you hear him go fuck and shut off the walkie. Okay, so people know you're here. You have the elevator console in front of you. You have where you can go. It goes down into the sub basement if you'd like. You know that you can access the core there and perhaps other things. And there's also the option to go up to 60 here, up to 60.
Up or down.
Is there a hatch on the roof, on the ceiling of this elevator leading into the shaft, out of curiosity?
Yeah, you would need technology to kind of get it all open, because it's usually tools that are used to kind of, get out of an elevator into the shaft. But if you guys have a lot of potence among you, so maybe you could just rip it open if you'd like.
I'll just keep my eyes on it until I make a decision.
They know we're coming. Want to try the alternate route through the basement?
Pick something, or I'm going up and killing this
go up.
girl.
Yeah.
Okay, you hit up
right.
and it's not moving yet. It's not moving, and I'm not going to make you search for this. You see that there's a little area where a key card must go in.
Oh, guess we're not going up.
Would
I
somebody
look
who's
in the
already
guard's
bloody
pocket.
like to? Yeah.
You look at the ghoul's body. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I look in his pocket, see if he's got a key card on him.
Hey, you know what? Rosie pulls out the card you guys need, and once that's slotted in, you can go up. Do you still want to go up?
I'm all for it. Yeah.
I think so.
All right, our party.
As soon as the elevator begins to go up, I'd like to try my hand at that hatch and hide on top of the car in case things go south.
Okay.
Yeah, can
Great.
Doc Hershey help out with that? He was eyeing it too.
I just want to mention, Bruno, your hunger is now 0, by the way, because you drained a man in 1 round, and there was probably a little bit of vitae in him as well. So you're all in there. Some of you are completely covered in gore and blood. Oliver's feet are like dangling in front of you for a minute, and the elevator's playing like the girl from Ipanema, like
Lexi's singing along. Totally.
You can't see Oliver's head up like working his way in the thing, but you hear, "This is my favorite song."
Oliver, give me I think a dexterity plus technology roll to get out onto the top of this elevator shaft.
Okay. Let me know when you want it.
I'll give you a boost.
I want it now, and I want 2 successes, or you're not able to get the hatch open.
You get 2 successes.
Oliver, you climb out onto the top of the elevator shaft as it is moving up to floor 60, and let's do this.
I'm going to take this time to hide behind Rosie, because I know I'm not too strong, and she looks like the toughest amongst everybody.
I pick up Mr. Ghoul, and I'm holding him as a body shield in front of me when the door opens.
All right. Oliver, as you are like riding like up on top of the elevator, I want you to give me a wits plus awareness roll. I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but you need to get 3 successes. 3 successes.
Okay.
5. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, looking up at the cables above you, you notice that they and maybe Oliver would notice this because he is a kindred who has an extreme attention to detail. The cables are sort of shaking in a weird way, but you don't like kind of hear them, right? You don't hear like the clank from that area of the elevator. What would you like to do? And I'm afraid our other kindred are unaware of this because they are inside the elevator itself.
Well, I'd like to lean my head over the opening, kind of crack it, and say, something is amiss with the cables.
Very good. And at that moment, something lands beside you and tries to push you off the side of the elevator.
Love it.
Bye.
Something has
Oliver,
landed.
Oliver, very well played. Very well played. Let's see what happens. You, of course, get a chance to avoid this happening to you.
Okay.
This, whoever this is, they are kind of only starting to come into your view after they've landed and grabbed you, and you can feel their like weird, like breath that they're moving out of their dead lungs in your face, because they're screaming now, and the scream is like, we are gonna do a straight strength versus strength, kind of like try to keep on the elevator. So this guy's gonna roll his attack, and you're gonna roll your attack.
Out of curiosity, does compel or mesmerize have anything of effect here? Being
Hey,
not
guess
super
what?
familiar?
You could definitely take your turn to try a compel or a mesmerize instead, if you'd like.
I would
instead
very
of-
much.
Yeah,
like
that
to
might
do
be a
that.
good idea. So why don't we have a compel from you? Because I don't think you have quite enough time for a mesmerize, right? This is
No.
yeah, this is happening right this second. And if you fail, you're not defending. So that means you are going to be thrown from the side of the elevator. And I can tell you now that like suddenly the shadows are parting and you're looking at a very strange looking Nosferatu who's like got very long arms and kind of looks like a huge like puppet, like with like kind of a very like weird eyes that don't quite look you directly in the eye, and he's like screaming at you as he comes out of obfuscate and starts to try to toss you off the side. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's start with your compel. If your compel is successful, I want to hear what you say, and maybe you won't be thrown off the elevator. What is your compel pool, my friend?
I know it's manipulation plus something.
Yes, it's manipulation.
Not
I have
write
it
it
right
down.
here. Actually,
would be
it's
great.
charisma plus dominate for compel.
That's fine too.
That's it.
And this guy's going to roll his intelligence plus resolve. I wonder how much a strange Nosferatu who hangs out in elevator shafts has for. I actually know. Here it is. Okay. Okay, great. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm rolled.
Roll. How did you do, Oliver?
Trace?
Oliver, this guy rolled 4 successes.
Oh, no.
No.
Like a,
Give me
like
will-
a bitch.
willpower it, Oliver.
Like a
Willpower.
bitch.
Oh, do you want a willpower, Oliver?
I sure as fuck do.
Okay, here we go.
4 successes.
4 successes. That's equal. And so now I think equal means we really do like the strength versus strength kind of contest, right? Because
cool.
does that sound
Strength
fair to
versus-
everybody? And let me know if it doesn't.
Sounds
because,
fair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that
So-
give us
so-
time to like help? Because we hear the struggle, or is this all like happening instantaneously?
I think that well, let's see. He did tell you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone, okay, so it's hard to get up there. But if someone has a plan to kind of like leap up and maybe like grab at the feet of these two and try to get the right guy and
I've
kind
seen
of like
jump.
throw him off balance, that's possible. Or if you have another plan I haven't thought of, what is your plan, Doctor?
Oh, my plan is to tell one of the vampires I just saw do the great leap. Do that again, but help him.
Yeah. All right, friends, is anybody going to try it?
I'll do it.
Okay, Rosie's gonna like leap into the air, kind of like try to grab the right guy. And here's what I'm gonna say, Rosie: it's tough to do. It's tough to do this, but you definitely have the leaping ability. What's tough is to know that you're grabbing the right guy because you're just looking at this like little square of blackness up there. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a strength plus brawl attack? The first success is just to make sure you're grabbing the right guy. We're only going to count successes after the first one toward like messing this guy up. And if you and Oliver can both like equal or beat this guy's successes, then he's not going to throw Oliver off the side of the elevator. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Wait 1 second. Okay, is everybody ready to roll? Let's roll. Okay, I'm going to let you know how many successes our bad guy got, our Nosferatu got. So he got... All right, he's coming at you with 5 successes, Oliver. Oliver, how many did you get?
1 out of 1.
Okay, that's okay, because maybe Rosie came to your rescue. She needs 5, because I said the first one is just to make sure you're grabbing the right guy. It's very tough. Rosie, how'd you do?
I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of those.
Oh, no.
I did not get 5.
Rosie, you try. You honestly try. How many did you get?
Counting or not counting the first one?
Not counting the first one, because I said that
3.
was just to make sure you're grabbing the right guy. You got 3. Okay. All right.
3.
So that gives my guy, 2 successes. No, 1 success ultimately. And this happened pretty close to the lower floors. Oliver, you go over the side. You're like skidding down. You guys hear like the side of the elevator, like someone is going down the side of it. There's really nothing to kind of get purchase on. You're falling. Do you have any physical disciplines or anything that might help you in this situation?
Yeah,
because you are now falling down the shaft.
Cat's grace would be good right now.
I've got heightened senses, and
okay. Oliver, here's what's happening now. It's only superficial damage, right? For a vampire to fall down an elevator shaft, and this happened pretty close to the lower floors, so you're only taking let's see. Wow.
That's love hearing storytellers say that.
No, I think that you land at the bottom of the shaft and you take a bunch of superficial damage, but I'm not going to tell you how much right now. I'm going to let your character be off camera for a while. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay. Did Oliver go into torpor? Was his body ripped apart by machinery at the bottom of the shaft? Perhaps we'll find out later. In the meantime, we are going to continue with the rest of our Anarch crew, and I can tell you that the elevator finally goes ding.
Hey, what happened to that?
While.
What happened to that Nosferatu up there? Is
what the fuck am I? Oh yeah, okay. So why the fuck would he just disappear?
I'm
Good
sorry,
point.
Jared. I didn't want to.
No, Broody, you're right. Why would I forget about that guy? Okay, so let's see. What is he doing? Okay, yeah. You guys. Okay, here's what happens. Rosie tries to help Oliver. You hear him go, "Wah!" and you hear clunk, 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 like down the side of the elevator shaft. And then it goes quiet up above.
Okay. Regardless of anything else up above, I know where we're headed. I'd like to make a couple of rouse checks to activate a couple of powers.
That sounds good. Go for it.
Trying to activate feral weapons and prowess.
Okay. You make your rouse checks. Let me know if your hunger went up. I just want to be aware.
Success on both.
Okay, great. So your hunger doesn't go up. Your feral weapons spring from your hands. And what was the other one?
Prowess.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you suddenly all of your muscles suddenly become filled with vitae, and you're just like a kind of coiled spring all of a sudden. Yep. Jackson now looks like he's flexing all the time, but it doesn't look stupid like when I do it. It looks cool.
And activating Daunt as well.
Oh, okay. I think Daunt would be something you'd do maybe more in the moment.
Okay, sure.
Unless you want to intimidate all of your friends in here and suddenly be really scary.
No, I'm just waiting for when the elevator doors open kind of thing.
Okay, great. So what do you guys want to do? I'm going to say there's a couple more floors before you hit 60, and whatever was up there has gone quiet.
Can we close the hatch?
Certainly you can. Would you like to do that?
Yeah. Doc Hershey,
I would, though, if I jumped up, I'd probably pull myself the rest of the way up onto the top to take care of whatever pushed Bruno or pushed
True.
Pushed him off.
Yeah. You want to, you want to shut. What are you telling me, Rosie? You want to shut the hatch, or you want to know something?
Since I jumped up, I'd probably pull myself the rest of the way out onto the top of it.
Oh yeah, you have. Okay, so
pushed them up.
All right, you are now approaching the 60th floor, and you can see that guy. He's like now on the side of the shaft, and he's like perfectly like climbing up the side of it like Spider-Man.
What do you see?
Do you want to do something about it? You're about to hit 60.
You say anything to me?
We got a wall crawler up here.
I like that.
I reach in my jacket.
Yeah.
I go, here, use this.
Oh, awesome.
And your gun.
Nice. Hey, guns are good. Well, not generally, but in role-playing games they can be.
Right.
What are you going to do with that? What did you hand her just now, Bruno?
I handed her the 40 Smith & Wesson MP40.
Okay, so the MP40. Are you going to take a shot at this guy?
Yeah, I'll take a shot. I was in the service. I can fire a gun.
Okay, here we go.
What is it? Firearms.
You know that bastard. He threw our... I don't know if he's my friend, but I've known him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He threw him off the elevator.
Dex plus firearms roll.
I'm sorry,
it's a
what
small
plus firearms?
I'm sorry, dexterity plus firearms. It's a small SMG, our gun here. So it does +3 damage. And what I'm going to do is if you get enough successes, this guy is not going to be able to maintain his uncanny grip because you've riddled him with bullets. It might not kill him, but it'll at least distract him or give him something to think about and knock him off that wall. How'd you do?
Can I add prowess to the roll?
No, because this is a firearms roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only for strength.
Strength. Okay, how did I do? 1 success.
Okay, that's not enough. This guy has, good and uncanny grip. So like you go, and as you're like he's just like climbing like really quickly, like out, just right out of like your spray of bullets, and you just kind of clip him in the leg, and he continues crawling up into the darkness, and it looks like he's like about to like kind of go into the shadows again and kind of like disappear, and that's when the elevator goes ding. And you are on 60, and the elevator doors are opening. I know that Jackson Miller has prepared his disciplines. He's in the front. Is that okay, Jackson? Does that make sense? You're kind of in the front. Okay, and then who else is in the front? Who else is standing? Because you can stand 2 abreast here.
The ghoul is the headless man. Ghoul. He's in the front.
Yeah, he's in front of Bruno.
Yeah. I'm hanging back.
Okay,
Doc
great.
pushing himself up against the wall,
That's
trying to make himself as small as possible.
If I have time, I'll
Island
drop
against
the
the
gun
wall.
back to Bruno.
Okay. Ding! The doors open, and
Thank
you are
you.
looking at a man in the tower security outfit. He's got a big tank on his back. He's holding a long kind of hose-like thing.
We're acting quickly.
Daunt.
And here comes Daunt.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and roll your Daunt, Mr. Jackson Miller.
No roll for it, but he must roll to try and attack me.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I think that's really, really smart. And I think that you can definitely get that off because you were telling me you had it in the chamber. And so let's see how you do here.
So Daunt is up, and I'm covered in gore already. So I'm intimidating, covered in gore, and standing there, leaning forward with just claws up.
Okay, great. Let me see how he does. How much presence do you have? Just how many dots?
Just the 1 dot.
Okay, let's see how he does. All right. That's good. Okay. Okay. He got 2 successes on his roll.
Well, that seems to be enough now, doesn't it?
I'm afraid that it is, my friend. And does anybody else want to try anything? Because I think it's fair. I think it's fair, but I think the person needs to be in the front. Bruno, did we say you're in the front?
Yeah.
I'm literally in the front with holding the corpse in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. What would you like?
So
to
what
do
I would try to do is take the guy's body and knock the flamethrower so that it's not pointed at me and move around him.
I
And
think
also
that's
not pointed at the other people. Like
that's a
I'm
cool-
using
no,
a
that's
battering
great.
ram.
I think that's really cool. Okay, so he's going to roll his roll to attack, right? You're going to roll your strength plus brawl to do this. You may add your potence dots if you have any. And because you're not really, I think that, your potence would come into play if you were using a human body as a battering ram. And if you get more successes than him, you've knocked his flamethrower nozzle out of the way, and he is not going to be able to just barbecue your entire elevator right now.
Strength, brawl, and potence, right?
Yes, sir. Strength, brawl, and potence, and he's going to roll his. And let's see how he does. Okay, I know how he did. How did you do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one of them's a crit.
Wow. Well, now that's pretty good. So you basically use the body of the poor ghoul you brutal fed on as a baseball bat. You knock his
Like I killed my dad.
flamethrower out of aiming at you guys. It's like now facing over here, and because he only got 2 successes, so because you do that and you knock it, like it just like kind of goes off, like, but it's like he doesn't have like kind of control of it, and he's shooting fire out into the rest of the room. And now let's start with like a new round. That was sort of like the surprise round, except for the people that were at the front and ready. So this round, everybody can do something. And I'm going to start with our friends who haven't acted yet, just to find out what they'd like to do. Lexi Fox, what would you like to do, my friend?
So I can see him and see everything that's going on.
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna try to entrance this big guard.
Okay.
So that is going to be my charisma plus presence versus composure and wits.
Okay, so you have your dice pool. I'm going to go around to everybody and find out what they're doing, and then we'll let it all kind of happen at once, right?
No, that's fine.
Rosie Jensen, what are you going to do this round?
I'm going to drop back down into the elevator
Mm-hmm.
and probably activate my prowess as well.
Okay, great. So you'll just do a rouse check this round to kind of like suddenly like kind of go taut with your muscles, get your prowess activated. And now Doc Hershey, what are you going to do this round?
Yeah, so Doc Hershey, he's just gonna like peer his head out from the elevator, just like you just see his head come out to see if there's anything else that he can, catch the attention of, like another guard approaching or anything interesting.
An interesting idea. A wits plus awareness roll, and every success you get over 1, I'm going to give you another clue about what's happening in this room. Okay.
Okay.
And now, Jackson Miller, what are you going to do now that you've daunted this guy and you've knocked his flamethrower out of the way? What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and soar and leap at him and claws right to the chest or the stomach or wherever I can get purchase.
Okay, great. And Bruno Siciliano, what are you going to do?
Bruno's taking the damn flamethrower away from the man.
Okay, that's great. So you're going to pull his flamethrower away. That's going to be tough because I said that it's like it's going off right now. And it's going to be also tough for Jackson Miller because, fire does make Kindred kind of do a fear frenzy sometime. Sure. So let's start with you guys before all of these actions happen. Let me just see if you have a willpower roll just from the guys that want to directly attack this flamethrower guy. Give me a willpower roll.
Can I spend a willpower to re-roll willpower?
You may not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 0 successes. Wow.
Okay.
That's terrible.
I mean, hey, Jackson, your guy, I'm so sorry that he's going to have a little trouble with this fire, but, maybe he can redeem himself in a little bit. You guys have been fairly deadly tactical team so far. Okay. Bruno, how'd you do on your willpower?
2.
That's enough. Okay. So let's have everybody roll, and we'll go through how everything goes for everybody. I'm going to start with the one that had maybe the least danger to it. Rosie, did you get hungrier with your rouse roll?
I did.
You did. Okay. So please add a point of hunger. Lexi, how did your entrancement go?
All right,
you rolled your, yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, and I'm
Wow,
not hungry.
Okay, and guess what? This guy just rolled his ability to kind of like
To dodge or shake it off.
to shake it off, and he got 0 successes. So he kind of like looks back and is like trying to like get his flamethrower back where it needs to go, and he meets your eyes, and he's just like,
What's
you
up?
can see under the helmet and everything, he's just like smiling right back at you. And now, Doc Hershey, how'd you do?
3 for 3.
3 for 3. Doc Hershey, that means you get 2 clues. And the clues I'm going to give you are, looking deeper into the room while everybody else is messing with this flamethrower guy, you see multiple heads of security staff moving among the tables and little nooks here in Elysium. They've got all the lights off. They've got helmets on. They've got like armor on, and they're kind of like tactically moving about. But they're kind of back there in the shadows, so you all might have missed them if Doc hadn't clocked them. And Doc, you also notice one other thing. You notice when you go a little farther into Elysium, there is kind of like around the bar area, when you go to where the floor is no longer carpeted and it's kind of smooth and you're near the bar and the tables, there is like weird writing kind of like carved into the molding around that area and on the floor, on the little molding that kind of separates the smooth area of the floor from carpet. It looks kind of, it looks like, I don't know, old ancient Babylonian writing or something like that. Doc, you notice those 2 things. Okay. And now let's see how, let's say, I'm going to tell you what what happened to him. Jackson, you went forward with your feral weapons, but that flamethrower was going off, as I said. And when you got near it, you just suddenly you kind of went into fear frenzy for a moment. And so you're going to kind of jump back away from this guy, and you are going to now cause maybe some problems for our friend Bruno. So I'm just going to roll this. Okay, now I know how much of a problem you've caused for him. Bruno, how did your strength plus brawl roll go to get this flamethrower away from you? I didn't
do it yet, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You can roll it now.
Do I get to add my prowess to this too, or no? No.
I'd say yes, because it's not an attack, right? It's like it is a feat of strength, ripping a weapon out of someone's hand.
These are like 6 and a crit.
Okay, so Jackson's kind of like leaping back and falling into you, like in like frenzying, like Jackson's like going like,
I'm like yo, what's it? And I push him aside.
Yeah, he smacks into you, and he takes 3 successes off your success total. But as you mentioned, with your prowess and all that, you are able to kind of push Jackson out of the way. You grab the flamethrower. You rip it from the man's hands. You rip it from the pack that it's attached to. Like fluid kind of sprays out of it, and you throw it out of the way. And now I'm going to say that guy is unarmed. He's kind of entranced by Lexi. I'm going to say that he is essentially not that much of a threat to you guys anymore. I think we can all agree on that. You're probably more dealing with the guys behind him that Doc Hershey has just spotted. So
that's fine. Lexi is a friend, so
I'm going to say that if someone wants to do something to the entranced guy, here's what I'm going to roll. Lexi, if you keep entrancing this guy and talking to him, he's not going to get back into the fight. But if you now decide to go somewhere else and do something else, he might come back into the fight.
Perfectly fine. I'm going to keep him with me.
Okay, great. So, Lexi, you kind of are going to, this round, you're going to kind of move to the guy and sort of continue to kind of babysit him a little bit, right?
That's what I actually, now that he's entranced and kind of friendly, I'm trying to say, I'm going to put my hands up. I'm going to be like, these guys captured me and I'm a huge rock star. Could you maybe sit over at the bar and talk to me? I'm going to try to get him to take me to the bar for a drink.
Great. That's what you're going to do this round. I'm just going to go where you guys are in my field of vision now. Bruno, what are you going to do this round?
So I see a bunch of guys that he pointed
out.
Well,
actually, Doc is the one that saw them. Doc, are you yelling out and letting people know?
Yeah, immediately. He'll just like, there's more. 1, 2, 3 over there.
Okay, so I can let you know, Bruno, once the Doc has spotted them, there are like 9 guys up ahead. They look mad, bad, and dangerous.
Remember, they look like dinner.
Yeah. Okay, great. Remember, we're doing 3, 2, 1, done. They all have some kind of firearm. They all have armor, and they all are like kind of taking cover, like in the little booths and behind the tables that are here in Elysium's kind of bar blood rave area. So, Bruno, what are you going to try to do this round?
Appetizers.
You're going to just attack one, right?
I'm going right at one.
Great.
Bruno is
All
a
right.
cannon.
All right, great, Jackson Miller. I think we can rule that you've taken your penalty for your flame frenzy, and you've recovered from it. What are you going to do this round?
How close is the nearest guy that Bruno's not going after?
I'd say that they're all kind of equally distant, right? Like they're all kind of about 20, 30 yards from you, back in that kind of bar area with like their like guns up and stuff.
Okay, and meter is 3 feet, 10 yards, or 10 meters. Perfect. I'm going to soaring leap at the nearest guy.
Okay, great. You're going to soaring leap at the nearest guy you can. So I said that there are 9 back there. So you guys are each going to kind of take one on. And then Doc, what are you going to do this round?
Doc's going to stay like still hidden in the elevator, just kind of looking around. Is there any way I can make out the writing from the elevator, or do I need to get closer?
Doc, no, you can make it out from here. Make an intelligence plus occult roll. An intelligence plus occult roll when I call on you. And right. Rosie, you've activated your prowess. What are you going to do?
I'm also going to jump at one of the guys.
Okay, so these guys are going to fire their weapons. You guys are going to jump at them. And we're going to do 3 rounds of this particular fight. And we're going to see at the end of that if it looks like our kindred are winning or our ghoul guards are winning. And if you fail, you will have to fall back. If at the end of the 3 rounds it looks like they're winning, you'll have to fall back. So I know what their role is to fire their guns, and I think that what they're going to use in this first volley, the ones in the front are going to fire their net guns. Okay. Here we go.
Jared,
yes,
remember,
sir. Yes, sir.
Still have Dawn up. They do need to roll to attack me directly.
Hey, that's a good point. Why they will do that right now. Okay, the one that's going to attack you rolled 2 successes. So unfortunately, he can do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, and here they go. Let's see. Health is half this. I feel it's 0 to 6. Okay, great. So I'm going to ask for your. I'm actually going to do their rolls first because they're just firing guns, right? And nobody was trying to dodge them. So one fires at our friend Jackson with his gun, and he gets 2 successes, which is halved. So the net is kind of snagging you and taking your dexterity down by 1, Jackson. Just keep that in mind. But it's not stopping you, right? It's only taking your dexterity down by 1. Please make sure you mark that on your sheet, though. Yep. At the end of the scene or at the end of the combat, you'll no longer be tangled in that. Another one is firing his net gun at Bruno. And this guy did a bit better. This guy got 1, 2, 3 successes, but we half that, so it's still only 1 off of your dexterity, Bruno. Then one is just going to fire a gun at Rosie, who's coming at him. And let's see. They've got these big rifles, and that's what he's firing at Rosie. I'm sorry, Rosie, that's what's happening. Here we go. And he's doing, oh my God. Sorry, Rosie, but you have 0 superficial damage coming at you. Don't know how that happened. But here's what I'll say now. They fire their guns, and now I want Doc Hershey's roll. How'd you do on that intelligence plus occult roll, Doc?
Yeah, so a 6 with a messy crit. I don't know how we'll play that one out.
Well, then I can tell you, no, a messy crit means you know exactly what's happening here. You know it so well, and you have to make it known to everybody. Basically, that is some sort of like Tremere blood ritual kind of ward that's around this area. And if firearms or something go off, everybody's going to take a bunch of damage. It's going to like do something. It's going to activate some kind of spell. Maybe they won't take damage. Maybe something else will happen to them. But if any kind of like open flame is used, it's gonna create that problem. Now the flamethrower that went off earlier was sort of outside the boundary of that, so it didn't activate it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, and are you letting everybody know that?
Well, so I think because this was a messy crit, and Doc is so taken by the fact that he knows this, he actually like steps out into the open and screams it, like almost like reads the Toreador markings verbatim and tells everyone.
Nice.
Okay.
That was awesome.
That's gonna let someone take a shot at him. I'm afraid
for sure.
But nice work playing your character correctly, and Doc, you're gonna take 2 off of your dexterity as a net hits you.
Okay.
And let's see. That means 4 of the 9 guys have fired. The others are kind of back. They're getting their position. They're like the second wave. They let the net guys go up first. So let's see how Bruno and Jackson do. Let's start with Bruno. How'd you do, friend?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm rousing up to boost strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I take a hunger.
Yes. Okay.
And then I'm going to just run up like one of these guys. You said they're behind like something. They're
kind of in like a booth, like peeking over.
I kind of come just blasting right through him and grab the guy, hold him against the wall, just beat his face through the back of his head.
Biker style. I love it. Give me that dex plus, that strength plus brawl roll.
Strength, brawl, and I get prowess again.
Not on this because prowess helps you with like.
It'll do damage. It'll do damage, right?
Yes, it will.
5.
Okay. Yeah. That. Yes. Okay. So, how many damage do you? Yeah. I mean, I think that he's got some armor. Let's see. I think
I ignore 3 armor, lethal body, and I aggravated damage to mortals.
Okay, great. I'm gonna rule that your guy is pulped, like against the side of the Elysium walls. Oh, Elysium! It used to be such a nice, elegant-looking place to have blood out of a wine glass, and now this guy's smashed head is dripping down the wall. So one of the 9 combatants is now out of the picture, and now Jackson, how'd you do on your strength? What were you doing? Were you doing more of like a dex attack using your claws?
No, I'm doing a strength brawl attack.
Okay, go for it, my friend.
I have 4 successes.
Okay, great. This guy does have armor. I don't think feral weapons ignores that.
It does not, but between feral weapons,
it's superficial.
Yeah, and plus 2 damage on both the feral weapons and the prowess. So plus 4 aggravated coming at him.
Okay, so plus 4 aggravated. So I'm going to rule this guy is sort of out too. He has a health level left, but I mean, he's immortal. So basically you ran up to him and your claws were just like shredding his armor, and you caught him on the neck and blood sprays out, and he's a mess. So now that there are like 7 of these guys left as we start into our next. Or wait, no, Rosie. I'm so sorry, Rosie. Your turn, my friend.
I'm just gonna punch my guy in the face.
Go for it.
5 successes.
5 successes. Okay, 5 successes. And you're using prowess? Yes.
Yes, I have 2 levels in potence. So.
Okay, so he's taking some aggravated damage there. Yeah, I mean, look, he's got some armor on, but I feel like you're able to pound your guy as well with 5. Like that's amazing. So Rosie's got her guy down. So now there are only 6 guys left, and then one that Lexi is currently having a drink with.
I'm learning his backstory.
Yeah. So that's great. I would like to start the next round. We're going to do 3 of these rounds and see who's winning. Guess who it seems like is winning right now. All right. So let's go ahead. Lexi, what are you going to do? You're going to just keep talking to this guy?
I'm going to keep talking to him, but I'm going to tell him to bring some of his friends over because I want to use on to get a couple more guards like in awe of me. They know who Lexi Fox is. Gonna flaunt my fame.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you do an awe roll if you'd like, but I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna give them more dice to resist because they are currently in tactical mode and being attacked by, you know.
I think that's fair. No, I think that's fair. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so you know what? So I'll let them resist in a second. Bruno, I guess you're moving to the next guy and turning him into a pulp.
Yeah, this guy is unfortunately going to be hopping on one leg when I'm done with him.
Okay, we're going to go after this guy's leg. Jackson, are you going for the next guy? And
Absolutely.
Great. Doc, what are you doing?
Are any of them close enough where they could hear Doc if he started talking to them? Could I like sling dementation?
I think that you'd have to kind of really go into the room, which will open you up to more fire.
No,
but yes,
no, he'll just flop on the ground and act like he's been shot.
Okay, great. And then Rosie, are you going for the next guy?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I want to start with Lexi and his awe.
1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead. Do you want to know mine?
Yeah.
10 out of 5.
You got 5 successes, really?
Yeah, my presence is 3, and my whatchamacallit, it's hold on, let me make sure I did it right because I want it. It's manipulation, so it's 3 and 3, so it's 6. And I got 5 successes. I can show you the dice if you want to see.
No, I believe you. 5 successes.
Lexi has nothing in physical or anything else. It's all just curse.
It's all this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna roll their dice to resist, which is, I'm giving them some extra dice.
No, I want some too because I want it.
Yeah. Okay. 2, 3.
I don't want it to be easy.
God damn it. I'm looking at, I rolled like a giant pile of dice, and Lexi, you got 2 more successes than they did. I'm going to give
the giant pile of dice.
What's that?
2 more than the giant pool of dice.
Yes.
I have 6.
I got to step away for just a second.
Oh, that's okay. Please do. So that means that I'm going to rule that 2 of those guys kind of come over to you right now. And it is a scene of extreme absurdity that all of a sudden these guys are leaving their posts to come over and party with you. You now have 3 guys at the bar with you who are ready to party. Okay, now I'm going to
autographs. Sign in some autographs for them.
I'm going to let them, yeah, great. I'm going to let them make their firearms rolls, the ones that are left. So let's see. I said that there were 6 left, but then 2 left to go party with Lexi. So that means there are 4 guys left. And that's enough to fire at each of you, including Jackson, right? Okay. So that's what they're going to, or does one fire at Lexi, the one that hadn't been affected by his presence? Yeah, that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Did they shoot at Doc, who threw himself dramatically on the ground, trying to pretend that he'd been shot?
I think that actually that's really smart of Doc to do that, and I don't want to penalize Doc for doing a smart move and getting out of the way. Do you want Doc to die horribly in this? I can make sure it happens.
No, I don't want him to die horribly.
Okay. All right. Here comes. Let's see. Okay. Here comes. These guys. This is like the second wave of guys because you took out the guys with the net guns, right? So here come the guys who are just using these rifles with explosive rounds. The first attack goes right at Lexi. And that attack gets 2 successes, but it does +5 damage. So you are looking at 7 aggravated damage, Lexi.
So that would kill me, I think.
Lexi, you partied hard, my friend. You partied hard. You actually took 3 guys out of the fight. And what I'm going to rule is that when their buddy fires an explosive round at him, it blows up on top of you while you're having drinks with them. You guys are fucking partying, and this explosive round hits and it goes off, and they all fucking die and fire and flame. Oh shit! An explosive round. Oh, nice. No.
It wasn't
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what just happened inside of the little square of Elysium after we deal with these explosive rounds from our other guys. But here's what I'm going to do. I want to know, Bruno, how'd you do on your attack?
Five, six, six, and one. Only one crit though, so it's not a crit, right?
That's right. And what I'm going to rule is that you do make it to your guy before he's able to fire off his explosive round. So you do not take an explosive round in the chest. You leap forward. You start doing the Bruno
Basically,
smash.
I rip his left leg off.
Okay, his left leg is like ripped off as he screams in horrible pain. The little etched markings around the bar are like now starting to like glow really big as like the fires burn off of like Lexi's face and chest. And then it's here comes the round that's coming at Rosie. Rosie, how did you do on your roll?
7 successes, messy critical.
Rosie, describe in detail how you destroy this guy. His round doesn't go off before you get to him.
I probably come flying at him and bring my fist around and just grab his throat and rip it out.
Okay, great. All right. So you guys have taken down your combatants, and now we just have the one that's on Jackson Miller, who had to step away. You know what? In the fire and fury and smoke that's going up, you guys lose sight of Jackson for a minute. Doc, you're just like on the floor, like, what the fuck? As like everything goes fucking haywire. It's like right out of the end of like Boogie Nights with like the fucking everybody starts shooting and everything. Oh, great. Jackson, you're here. I need your attack, and I'm going to see how many successes this guy got firing, and let's see how he did versus you.
Okay. I've got some, but I'm going to spend a willpower and re-roll some as well.
Okay, good idea.
Let's go 5 successes.
My friend, you reach him before he's able to fire off his explosive round. You tear into him, and are you using your feral weapons on him?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, this guy, you disembowel. You're able to get your hands up under his armor and just pull his entrails out from under his like Kevlar. But then that's when the Tremere ward goes off. Now, our friend Doc isn't in the zone of the Tremere ward. He stayed back near the elevator, but everybody else now takes. Wait, I gotta find this. I gotta make sure I get this right. Let's see here. I'm like one of those guys who immediately loses track of all of his notes. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, everybody takes 12 levels of superficial damage as suddenly the fire is put out by like this explosive decompression that happens in the room. All the air just suddenly goes boom, like out of the room, and you guys are like shaken off your feet by it, and you take 12 levels of superficial damage, but in fact, it's halved. Right? So you each take 6 levels of superficial damage. Now that may end up still giving some of you a level of aggravated, right? Because some people have like a health bar of only like 5 or 4. So let me know after that happens where your health levels are at. And Doc, you see that the second that happens, like everybody kind of like goes into the air for a second. The air goes choom, like out of the room, and you feel it like fill the area where you're in. And then they kind of flop to the floor again, and they all like bruised and like they're crawling, but the fires are completely out. And then the little sigils go dark; they're no longer glowing. All of the ghouls are, if it wasn't mentioned earlier, dead now. Mm-hmm. And how are my vampires doing, Rosie? What's your health level at?
My health is exactly 6. So.
Okay, so you took 6 superficial. Okay, and Bruno, how are you doing?
I also have 6 health, but I do have dinner in my right hand called left leg.
Yes, you do. So Bruno,
and I'm on rousing and eating it. to heal that up.
Bruno, you may hear my 1-year-old daughter in the background as Bruno lifts a leg and starts eating it like a piece of the Colonel's original recipe.
It's like the Renaissance fair. It's the big turkey leg.
That's right. And Jackson,
Yeah,
how are you doing at the end of that little encounter?
I'm at 1 ag, 4 superficial. I would like to rouse whenever you get a chance to adjudicate those.
Well, here we go. So people can rouse to heal what they'd like to. And Doc, what are you doing? You're kind of the only one who's not like peeling himself off the floor here.
Yeah, so Doc he's just like very carefully taking the net off. Is there anything that I can do to heal superficial damage since he's...
Yeah, Doc can give a rouse roll, and then I believe his generation is 1, so he could heal a superficial damage.
No, I mean to heal. He's completely unhurt.
Oh,
He was
of course,
unscathed.
to heal the others. Duh. Actually, that's the weird irony of being a vampire and dealing with a bunch of undead friends.
Mhm.
Doc, I know what you can do. Give me an intelligence plus medicine roll.
All right. You want the successes?
Yes, sir.
4.
Doc, you find 4 humans that are still intact enough after that explosion that they would serve as like really good little meals for everybody.
Perfect.
And you're kind of pointing them out to everyone. Do
Yeah.
you guys want to stay and take the time to feed, or do you want to keep moving?
I want to.
I'm going to
take
drag
time.
dinner with me.
What I would like to do now is do a brief scene with Oliver Sorensen, if I may. Hi, Oliver.
Hi, Dad.
Oliver, how many health levels do you have?
I have 6.
Okay, so you took 20 superficial damage from the fall because you fell at least 20 feet. The elevator hadn't gone that far yet, but that's halved. So then you take 10 superficial damage. So you take 6, and then you take another 4. So you are at like, you're at like 4 aggravated, 2 superficial right now. Does that make sense? I know that you're newer to the game than some of the friends. Well,
I was
that's
just
okay.
reading that literally as the air got sucked out of their room. So
yeah, of course. So Oliver, you kind of have like your full health bar should be like X's, 4 X's and then 2 slashes for your 6 health. And just know that if you take like 2 more hits from anything, those turn into X's and your guy will go into torpor. So he can start rousing to like heal a point of damage right now. Would you like to do that?
Absolutely.
So give me a rouse roll. You're just going to roll 1 die and see if you get a 6 or above.
It's going to be a 6.
Okay, great. So you don't get hungrier, and you can turn one of those X's into a slash.
Okay.
Or you could turn one of those slashes into an empty mark, actually. I think that's how it would go. I wish the other players were here who know how to play Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Clint will tell me. Okay, so you kind of like pull yourself up off the floor, and you can see that you're like down in the bottom of the shaft, and you can see kind of this utility door where like workers would like access the shaft that ostensibly leads out into the sub basement or whatever.
First thing I'd like to know is, are there any buttons missing from my vest?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm fine then. Yeah, I'd like to try that goddamn door.
Okay, you come out into a kind of a sub-basement area, and you can see that there's like kind of pipes exposed along the wall here. It's like a cinder block construction. It's the kind of place where only the people that work in the tower kind of would ever see. And let me just find this. Okay, yeah. So you are looking at like several doors. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doors. 4 on one side, 3 on another. In kind of like not as long a corridor as you'd think. It's probably about 50, yards down, and you see those 7 doors.
Are there any markings or any indications that differentiate the doors, or are they all identical?
They, no, there are markings. So one says machine room. Another farther down says messenger center. Do you want to start opening them or anything like that?
I want to know what they all say first before I make a choice, or as many of them as I can see.
They don't
from where
all
I'm at.
say something. So let me know. Would you like to just solve this with like? Are you searching the place or are you being extremely careful?
From where I'm at, I'm looking for essentially HVAC.
You're looking
So
for
I'm looking for
HVAC.
access
Okay,
to the HVAC to take
climb
that
back
route
up.
out if I can. Yeah.
Okay, great. No need to search too hard. Soon you find a machine room, and a door from that room leads into the core of the building. Do you want to move through there?
It's what I've always wanted, Jared.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
man.
Let's do this. You move into that machine room, you move into the core of the building, and now you're looking up at like that kind of core that's just filled with piping. And there are some little steps and catwalks, but it looks like it will be kind of an athletic, even for a vampire, challenge to get all the way up to the 60th floor through this core. So what I want from you, and I don't want to know the answer right now, I want you to go ahead and make your dexterity plus athletics roll to start moving quickly as you can up through this core. And when we come back to you, when I bring you back in, we'll find out how you did.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take Oliver out and let's go back to our vamps, the rest of our kindred crew. Guys, you are you're in this room. You fed a little bit, so if anybody wants to like take their hunger down, they can. I'm gonna rule that it probably won't go to 0 because none of these, you're not drinking like kindred vitae here. You're just drinking like security guards and stuff. But if your hunger has gone up, it's down now. Or did you decide not to stay and eat?
I wanted to stay and eat.
Yeah,
Okay,
Herky
people
would
stay and
encourage it.
So
People
I
stay-
dragged the buffet over to near Lexi, and I'm feasting on the buffet while I cut my wrist and stick it down Lexi's throat. So I'm trying to be like a conduit to him.
You're trying to feed him, I hope.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
I'm like eating while my
Lexi
wrist is in his throat.
and Lexi's whole body is just a burnt, shriveled husk. He looks like he might not even be able to come back from torpor after all that. Guys, looking around, you see that there is, as promised, a kind of like a staircase leading up to upper floors from here at the 60th floor. Would you like to take the staircase, or do you have another? Or do you want to search for something else?
Can I use my one shot of premonition to figure out if the staircase is optimal?
I love that. So you kind of peek out into the staircase, Doc, and when you peek out into the staircase and you use your premonition, you suddenly get a vision of a helicopter moving past the window up onto the roof of the building. And then when you shake your head for a second again, it's gone.
I immediately mention there's a helicopter. We have more friends, or an escape route, or something. I don't know.
Just getting away. We're standing around while just getting away. Let's go.
Or it's happening, or hasn't happened yet, or will happen. You don't know.
So you're telling me you don't really know?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
So this stairwell, and it's been described in the stream, it kind of goes from 60 up to 63. And it goes past, the windows of the U.S. Steel looking out over the city of Pittsburgh, this stairwell. And soon you come to a door that is probably leads into 63. It is a big oaken door. And you can tell me how you are entering this room.
Probably
and if it's just
loudly.
kicking the door in, that's great.
Hinges on the other side. Yes.
That's right.
Kicking
it in.
I say we kick it in.
They've
say
been
we-
ready for us. We should maybe try to listen or see if maybe even I know eventually you walk into people, they just shoot at you. So
You kick the door in, Jackson, since you're the one who kick it in. No, it's okay. I think Jackson does it because he was the one that just said, I want to kick it in.
Yep.
Jackson, you kick the door in. And you
but I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I wasn't listening. Did Bruno do something and then I negated that it happened? I apologize.
No,
He was about to go
He
listen.
was trying to actually listen and see what was going on. And
Oh,
Jackson just
that's
comes
a
and blows
smart
the
move.
door off.
Actually, I take it back. I apologize. Yeah, do you want to listen? Go ahead and give me a whistle.
if he goes to listen, I restrain myself.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for working together like a cooperative team that dismembers people.
I
Okay.
would probably just push
So
the door.
you're going to listen carefully. Don't even worry about a wits plus awareness roll, actually. I think that you hear nothing on the other side except for the general hum of a building built in the latter half of the 20th century. That sort of like air conditioner buzz that sort of permeates everything.
So I look back at Jackson. Take the door.
All right, Rosie, want to help?
Rosie, you're going to help him bash the door in?
All right.
Yeah, all right. You
All
guys make quick and short work of it. The door comes apart in pieces in your capable kindred hands, and you're looking into the office of the Prince of Pittsburgh. This is a huge open studio with an enormous desk near the window that looks out over Pittsburgh. There is a lot of pleasing modern art that glorifies the female body. It is not erotic. It's like more reverent. Like there's like wrists, you know what I mean? And like collarbones, you know what I mean? Like there's like art like that. There is no computer or there's nothing on the desk really, except for like a small hand mirror. And then farther into the room, you can see another door back near some of the art.
Heading directly through to the other door, head on a swivel as I go.
Okay, great. It's eerily quiet and you don't trust it, right?
Yeah.
In fact, make a wits plus awareness roll as you come to this door.
We got 4 successes.
Okay. Come on. There's nothing in here. This is nothing. There's no problems. Like you're sure that you're not seeing anything. You're looking at every corner for an obfuscated fucking vampire and you see nothing. You come to the door. Do you want to open it?
I want to. I'm hell yeah. I'm gonna kick this open as well.
You kick it open and you see a stairwell. The stairwell goes up ostensibly to the roof, and it also goes down to, in theory, 62 and 61 because you're on 63 currently.
Okay. Did Curtis tell us the layout of like the prince's quarters at all from anything that he knows?
All he told you is that Adelaide makes her haven in 61, 62, and 63. This is clearly where Adelaide does business. And you can see that, there's a stairway directly from Elysium so that people can come into her office. So if you go down, you're probably going into her private area. He told you that he'd only ever been in her office, perhaps, but never her apartments.
But your vision, you said she's in the helicopter. That'll be up.
Well, there's a helicopter coming or will come or has come.
Listen,
so it could be backup or she could be escaping.
Do we
you
hear
guys
a helicopter?
listen carefully, and Jackson, you listened very carefully. You would have heard a helicopter here. You're almost at the top of the building. You would have heard it.
Helicopter.
Up.
Is it there?
Oh, no. I'm saying, Jackson, you did not hear a helicopter.
Oh, I did not.
You certainly are I'm happy to let you go up, but you did not hear a helicopter.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry. I thought I heard the helicopter.
I'm gonna rifle her desk, see if I find anything valuable. Because I'm also a thief.
Bruno, it's really bizarre. This is the Prince of Pittsburgh, and she's supposed to kind of govern 40 some vampires throughout Pittsburgh who belong to the Camarilla. And what you find is nothing but a stack of photos.
I take them and then I spit on her desk for Pittsburgh and for the Camarilla.
Okay, you take them, you spit on her desk, a big bloody loogie is now splattered on the prince's desk. And looking at the photos, you see that they're all of the Prince Adelaide Ross going.
I'm going to go to the doorway. I'm going to listen more towards the downstairs, see if I hear anything.
Give me a wits plus awareness roll.
Right. 1 success.
You hear light classical music playing from 1 floor below.
Someone at least was listening to something downstairs. Don't know if they're still there, but it's still playing.
I said, what kind of prince doesn't have any money?
What are you going to do, guys?
It's all credit cards now, anyways.
Up or down?
Well, so I think we should go down. So Doc thinks his premonition is that reinforcements will come via the roof in a helicopter. So we should be quick or try to plan for that. Be ready for it, I guess. But
I
go
want to
down.
go down.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go down.
Oliver, let's bring Oliver back in with the rest of our vamps for a second.
All right.
I can bring him in. I don't know why I'm just telling my people to do this.
I have people.
Beauty of being the boss.
Your
You tell them
power.
what to
No,
do.
I don't see him.
Drunk with power.
Oh, there he is. I see him. Sorry, Sean. Here we go. How'd you do on your Dex plus Athletics roll?
I wanted to ask before I did it, but can I spend a willpower to re-roll?
Yeah, you should, of course.
Oh, I figured as much, but
No. I don't mean, of course. Like, why didn't you go ahead? I'm just saying,
You
like,
idiot.
go for it, baby.
that's going to be 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So you start to hear so you get down to 62. You were on 63, which was her office. You get down to 62. You see a door, right? A door out of the stairwell into whatever this level is. You can hear the faint classical music. And then below, you hear like kunk, 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 kunk. And down there, if you peer down there, I can tell you more.
Yeah, I'm going to look down there.
Okay, you see 2 doors at that level, and one of them kind of seems to be kind of like pointing toward where the level would be, like where the quarters would be or whatever, and the other is like some kind of utility door that would lead into the core of the building, and that's going kunk, 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 kunk.
I'm going to go open the utility door.
Okay, and Oliver comes out.
Yeah, I kind of tumble out and kind of land on my feet, and I go, I told you all the utility was the better route.
He looks completely like shredded to hell.
Yeah.
Probably would have
like-
been.
Straightening a tie that's like not there anymore.
This was my favorite vest.
Probably would have been
Okay.
a better route. We lost the fop.
All right. Yeah. You lost Lexi, but goddamn, rock stars die young, everybody. All
If I
right.
liked people,
I lean over to
would've
Sean
liked
and
it
go,
best.
I say, Oliver, and I go, it's a bad idea.
All right. Are we going into 62, everybody? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So you pull Oliver back up a level and you have a door in front of you. Is there any particular way you're entering it? Just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to say you just kick it in like all the others. All right. Upon entering the personal apartments of Prince Adelaide Ross, you are looking immediately at a small dinette and an elegant little tea service arrayed on a silver tray. Seated at the dinette are 2 human retainers who are dead, stone dead, drained completely dry, and they're arranged in sort of like a mockery of civility, like one of them's holding like a little teacup. It looks like a mad tableau out of Alice in Wonderland. So you can investigate this little scene if you'd like. This is the thing that's put in the parlor right directly as you come out of the door. I can tell you that beyond that, this is sort of an open floor plan that they've turned into apartments by putting up like partitions that sort of act as walls but don't quite go all the way up to the top of the ceiling, right? It's almost like a really, really elegant cubicle maze that kind of partitions off certain rooms and things like that. And yeah, you can tell me what you'd like to do here.
Does this look like, does it look messy or does it look like it was done with care?
It was done with extreme care. Are you investigating it?
I would like to, yes.
You notice that the fine china teapot contains about a pint of fresh vitae. And the smell of it hits you, Oliver. And Oliver, you are quite hurt, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Oliver, you haven't fed like the others who fed upstairs.
No.
Oliver, you need to make a willpower roll right now, and I want 2 successes, or you're going to start drinking this vitae.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Okay. It says 3 successes, possible bestial failure.
Oh, you put a strange difficulty typed in.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't write a difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
make
said
sure
3?
you put it that it's a yeah. Let's make it a 2.
Then you're good. Then it wouldn't be a bestial failure.
Yeah, I'm fine then.
Okay. So you can decide not to do this, or you could decide that you'd like to do this. If you drink from it, you will be able to take yourself down in hunger and maybe even like heal up some health levels. It's up to you. I can tell you that you now spy a little card, a little greeting card, kind of sitting beside the tea set.
Could I like pick up the card and read it as I lower myself beneath the udders of Vitae?
Oh, you're going udders? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's in a little
figurative.
teapot.
It's figurative. I'd like to pick up the teapot and the card and read the card.
Okay, the card says, "Honored guests, please take some refreshment after your difficult journey to my doorstep. I am slipping into something more comfortable in which to greet you. Come inside and I will share the full extent of my hospitality with each and every one of you."
Do you read that out loud to us?
Yeah, I sure do.
Don't drink that.
I will take a moment to consider how hungry I am. Place it down, but not because I want to.
Very good. At this point, I think everybody can make a wits plus awareness roll.
Is it an ambush?
Is this an ambush? I'll tell you after you make your wits plus awareness.
I get an extra die.
If you got 2 successes or more, you become aware of a female voice somewhere in the back of this level, like if you go farther in.
Pixie? Maybe it's Pixie.
What are the chairs around this table made out of?
They're like small, like fiberglass type chairs.
What's the table made out of?
It's like a little fiberglass table with a little glass top. It's quite elegant.
Is the tray real silver?
It is.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay, great. Yeah,
So-
let's earn some money. Let's play this like a old school Dungeons and Dragons game.
Silver's expensive in the world of darkness, and there's a werewolf in the park.
I'll let you spend your gold at the end. So, guys, you're hearing the voice back further in the apartments here. Would you like to search this level, or do you want to go directly to where the voice is? Where do you want to go right now?
Everybody hear that?
Hear what?
I look, I go, come out, whoever you are. You want to live? Get out now. We hear you. Get in here so we can see you.
Who are you talking to? I thought I was the crazy one.
That's what you're hearing.
I'll move toward wherever I hear it. It's like, get out of here.
I'm
I'll
back.
pick up the teacup and follow. The tea
Okay.
pot.
You hold it like this.
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready to serve,
Okay.
guys.
You start moving through this level. Is everybody doing that, or are some people hanging back?
I'm going to hang back and keep an eye on the door leading in.
Doc will hang
Okay.
with Rosie.
Okay, so Doc and Rosie are hanging back and keeping an eye on the door leading in. The rest of you are kind of moving through toward this voice. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
stay at the
great.
back of the group.
You start passing these kind of sectioned off rooms, and you see past the parlor there is a kitchen, a sort of a pantry area, a bathroom. These are things that Kindred don't use, but ostensibly they were for the 2 human retainers who are drained and sitting up front. A closet full of cleaning supplies, light bulbs. These things don't quite have doors on them, so you're able to kind of just peek in. And finally, you come to a back sitting room where there is a big flat screen TV, and Adelaide Ross's face is on it, and she is speaking, and she's saying, Hello, kindred of Pittsburgh. I am proud and honored to have chosen your new prince by the Camarilla. As your prince, I make you this promise. The Anarch vermin that have been trying to infest our city will be stomped on and snuffed out like the cockroaches that they are. So that is what you're viewing on this screen. And now I'd like to know what everybody is doing turn by turn. I think that we said that Doc and Rosie were back near that other entrance, right? The entrance to this level. What about my friends here in this back sitting room? By the way, in this back sitting room where you found where the voice was coming from and you're seeing the TV, there's actually a little hallway that leads back further. So let me just ask, Jackson Miller, what are you doing?
You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna go down the hallway.
You're gonna go down deeper.
Yep.
Okay, great. And Bruno, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a second to look around this room and see if it's trapped. Maybe like a tripwire or something that set off a fire or an explosion.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you to make a wits plus investigation roll. I'm going to tell Jackson that he's just going to see what is beyond. Doc, no, I'm sorry, Doc. I know where you're at. I'll come to you in a second. Oliver, what are you doing back here? Are you joining Jackson, going deeper? Or are you?
No, I'll split the search and search the other half of the room with Bruno.
Okay, you're searching the room with Bruno as well. Give me a wits plus investigation roll as well. And now our two keeping watch. I would love if you would please give me wits plus awareness rolls.
Instead of that, can I try using Sense the Unseen?
Hey, that's a great idea. Yes, you may. You absolutely may. Right. And so I'm going to make a wits plus awareness roll for you. Okay. And what is your? Or I'm going to make your Auspex roll, your Sense the Unseen roll for you, and let you know if you sense anything unseen. Let me look here. Sense the Unseen, wits plus Auspex or Resolve plus Auspex. Okay, what is your wits plus Auspex, my friend?
5.
Great. Let's see. Do you have any hunger right now?
1 hunger.
Great. Okay. And Rosie, how'd you do?
I had 1 success.
1 success. I can tell you that neither of you notice anything.
Perfect.
Okay. But your Sense the Unseen is up for the rest of the scene, Doc. Okay. So you've like kind of just like suddenly everything goes boom, like into a photo negative for you, and you're kind of like looking into like the Twilight realm. And everything looks a little shaky and in a weird color. How did your wits plus investigations go, Jackson and Oliver? 4.
It's Bruno and
I'm
Oliver.
sorry, Jackson. It wasn't you. Bruno and Oliver. How did you got 1? Okay,
4.
gentlemen, you are like digging through all the like cabinets in the entertainment center and stuff, and you're finding like countless like photos of Adelaide Ross. In fact, she's taken like family photos that come like when you buy the frame, and she's cut out the heads of the families and put her own face on like every single like body. And it's just all trash. And you find that she's filled photo albums with this. Jackson, you go deeper and you find 2 rooms in the back. They are very simple, very sparse, and they have little cots in them.
Okay.
Okay.
This would be for the people. Yeah.
All right. New round. What are people doing? Jackson, what are you going to do now that you've seen this?
I don't know. I'm going to come back to the room that they're at. Is the TV still playing?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, this will be part of a 5-point plan. Like, she's
is it mounted to the wall or on a stand?
It's mounted to the wall.
Okay. I'm going to just try and rip it off the wall and onto the ground.
Okay. So this round, Jackson's going to rip the TV out of the wall. Bruno, what are you going to do?
Bruno's going to be like, She's not here. She must be on the roof with the helicopter. And he's going to start walking back that way.
Okay, great. And then let's go with Oliver. What are you going to do?
Feeling suspicious of the silence and everything, I'd like to take this round to Cloak of Shadows and blend into the background.
Okay, so you understand that Cloak of Shadows depends on you not moving, right?
Right. Yeah. For now, I'm going to.
But I'll let you move around a little bit. I'll just say that, like, if you're moving, I can let someone see you. So you need to tell me when you're stopping. So you can kind of keep it up for the scene. But
Sure.
like, you have to tell me when you're stopping and staying still, okay?
Okay, I'll position myself to begin with, so I have eyes on the hallway and the entrance to the area we're in now.
Okay, great.
And
Rosie, what are you going to do? You're here. You hear. I'm sorry, Bruno yelling like, "There's nothing back here."
I'm gonna look over at who's with me. Is it Doc?
Yeah, it's her.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna move out and go down to the next level,
Okay, great.
461.
Yeah, down to
I'm trying to do
61. Yeah. No problem. That makes sense. Down to 61. Doc, what are you doing?
So when Rosie goes to open the door and starts going down, he'll step basically into that landing, look up, still in his like vampire Arkham vision mode, look down, make sure there's no Nosferatu hiding or anything, and he'll just wait for the rest to come back.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Okay. All right. Rosie, give me a wits. Actually, give me your wits plus awareness.
Okay. Oh, give you the total?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Great. Okay. Okay. Rosie, you are now, so at the end of this turn, Rosie, you are now down at 61 in front of the door. Doc, you are like using your like sense the unseen to kind of scan above you, like up at the level where you go out onto the roof. Oliver, you have kind of like blended into the shadows inside of this sort of like TV room, and you're just watching. You're watching Jackson rip the TV out of the wall and break it, and like her face winks out, and that's destroyed that. And
Jackson just hears out of the silence, unwise.
And Bruno, you're kind of moving back through the apartment, and you are arriving back where that Vitae was sitting before. Okay, now a third round is about to begin, and this is when all of you hear like outside of the building, the definite sounds of a helicopter. And now I want to know what all of you are going to do this round. I would like to know, Jackson, what are you going to do?
Running through the apartment, get back to the stairway, and head up to the roof.
Okay, Jackson, what's your celerity rating?
I have 0 celerity. I'm booking it as fast as I can.
Okay, so Jackson, I'm going to say that this takes you one round to get out to the door that leads into this level, 62. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to go along the faces I see. Doc, what are you going to do?
Doc is just going to announce to everyone, just to repeat, helicopter, and just stand. He's going to wait for the more impressive people to go in front of him.
Okay, great. And he's is he keeping an eye on the level above, or is he looking back into the room to communicate to them? What's he doing?
He's keeping an eye on above.
Great. And Bruno, what are you going to do? You already moved to the door, so you're at the stairwell. Where would you like to go this round?
Yeah, he was on his way to the helicopter. He said he's not here. She must be at the helicopter, and I'm on my way there. And I'm drawing my gun as I move toward the helicopter as fast as I can. And if I see a helicopter, I'm shooting at it.
That makes total sense, my friend. I'm going to rule, if it's cool with you, it takes you one round to get up the stairs to that door out to the roof. Okay, and you can draw your gun while you do that. Oliver, what are you doing this round?
Yeah, forget obfuscate. I'm gonna book it, but I'm gonna aim to get up to the door, but not go out onto the helipad. I want to just get up inside the door and look.
So
behind
you are
us.
right beside my friend Jackson, and you guys have come to the stairwell. And Rosie, you were right there at the stair. Oh no, you were down at 61. Do you want to go into 61, or do you want to Go somewhere else? What do you want to do?
I think I want to at least kick in the door and take a quick look in there to see if there's anything in the room.
Okay, great. Rosie, you kick in the door. I'm going to start with you. And then I'll make sure I narrate what happened to everybody else. Rosie, you kick in the door, and you're looking at a big studio apartment that covers the whole level. There's in one corner, a huge 4-poster bed, king size. In the middle of the room, there's sort of like a recessed kind of tub pool that someone could kind of clean themselves in. On the far wall, there is sort of a wardrobe with scarves and boas and beautiful dresses, like designer fashions kind of hanging over sort of screens like you'd put up old-timey to dress behind. And what I'm going to allow you to do right now is make a wits plus awareness roll.
Nope, no successes.
Okay, Rosie, you can
spend a willpower and re-roll.
That's smart.
Only one success.
I don't think it's enough. So, Rosie, you something seems off to you, but you're not sure what. Okay, now let's see. Let me narrate everybody else. Jackson and Oliver both get to the stairwell. Doc, you watch as Bruno passes you, pulling a huge gun. And now we are in round 4. Bruno, I'm going to say that if you pop open that door to the roof, you see a helicopter landing. One last thing. I have to do one last thing before this whole round starts. What was your wits plus awareness, Doc?
You mean my aspects for the?
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Your aspects plus your
It's 5 dice.
5 dice. That's
100.
right. Okay. Okay. You still don't see anything. And you're kind of looking up and you're watching Bruno. So what would everybody like to do this turn? Bruno, what are you going to do? You're going to fire your gun at the helicopter, right? Oh, you're muted, my friend.
Muted. Yep.
Did I do that?
No, I did that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It would make some more sense than it was pretty clear. I'm shooting the helicopter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and start making Dex plus firearms rolls starting this round.
Am I still -1 Dex from that net gun? Or
No. You guys got free of the net when you got out of that encounter. Okay, Jackson and Oliver, what are you doing?
I have no reason to suspect there's anything down below, and I hear the helicopter, so I'd be heading upstairs.
Okay, great. You guys both, it takes you one round to kind of get up to where you see fucking Bruno about to open up with a gun. And now, Rosie, what are you going to do this round?
I'd like to stay inside the door with my back next to it, unseen from the outside, and just keep my eye down the staircase. Keep watch.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Rosie. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jackson. Go ahead.
I'm not stepping out either. I'm staying behind Bruno in the firearm.
Hey. I mean, I think it's smart. I think it's smart. Okay, Rosie, what are you doing?
I know they're all up there. They're taking care of that. Something feels off about this room. I'm going to go in and investigate it more thoroughly.
Okay, great. Give me I think a wits plus investigation roll.
Two successes.
Two successes. I think that's enough for you to start kind of looking around over by the wardrobe. And when you do that, you notice that behind those screens with fashion and stuff, there's a little utility access door to the outside of the building, all the way up here on the 61st floor. There's a little bit of a little utility access area. And by the way, it's cracked a little bit. So there's like air coming in, and that's what you didn't understand before. Like the boas and the scarves were moving a little bit. I'm gonna leave you there at the moment. Okay. I want to know how. So I've got Jackson and Oliver running up the stairs. I've got getting up against either side of the stairwell. I've got Doc kind of like staying down lower and kind of just like looking up and trying to keep an eye out. And Doc, I'm going to roll that wits plus awareness one last time.
All right. And now that Rosie's been gone for a while, he's now looking down too, because she hasn't like shouted anything, right? It's been quiet, and now he's starting.
That's right. She hasn't shouted anything. It's been very quiet, and
I mean, I would have shouted when I found the secret door, but
wow, I mean,
I don't know if it's gotten to that yet.
I hope you believe me when I say, Doc, Sense the Unseen was such a smart move, but like for whatever reason, it says, I'm supposed to roll for you so that it keeps you a little bit in suspense. You don't know whether you're missing something or not, and you still don't see anything. So Doc's like, where is it?
We're fine.
And so now I want, oh no. Have I frozen?
You have.
Yes, you have.
I can hear you though.
Yes. We have a very, but you look like dinner because we have a really good view of your neck.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you guys get nice
Oliver's
and hungry.
guys.
I'm going to leave for 1 second. I'm going to fix this, and then when I come back, we are going to finish the scenario. We will go to about 6:30. So here we go.
Literal anarchy breaks out.
Now that he's gone.
Clint's always watching.
Right.
Yeah.
And
the hawking eye.
And the secret assistant to the secret storyteller.
They'll keep us in line.
So many secrets.
It's like they're vampires or something.
Wait, this is about vampires?
I know. It's funny, huh?
I am very nervous about the thing that I know is hidden amongst us that I just couldn't see. That Nosferatu is still there. I know it.
The Nosferatu is you.
Right.
Yes, we have Nosferatu. We have Nosferatu
So
today.
Wait, Jared, you've changed.
Oh,
Hey,
my
everybody.
lord.
One moment. Hey, everybody, it's Clint, me, the secret storyteller. I've been gone because my internet dropped out, and then Jared froze while I was trying to keep up with what was going on my phone. But I'm back now, just to keep you all entertained.
Dance monkey.
Get out of my head.
I know absolutely everything behind the scenes that Jared won't tell you. Ask me anything you want to know.
Where is the bad guy we need? Where is Adelaide?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to know.
Very close.
Where is Adelaide?
When do we get to kick Alan Rickman off the roof of the building?
You're very close to that as well.
No, it's get off my plane, isn't that? It's
yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Oh, that's right.
When is Ben Brown going to make an appearance?
Right.
What I want to know is what hobbies the Nosferatu has. Does he knit in his spare time?
His hair is actually all yarn. It's beautiful.
That Nosferatu NPC is one of my greatest creations. I'm very proud of him. I wish you got the chance to talk to him. He would have talked to you.
He didn't seem all that friendly. He threw our friend off an elevator.
He's just grumpy because they shut down ShrekNet and won't let him make a new one.
That too.
That was funny.
What are the other two? Jared mentioned that there were two other Gen Con events. I was looking through them. I didn't see them. I assume they're completely sold out.
Saturday night?
And
tomorrow we'll be doing the attendee game for our Call of Cthulhu game, the Neptune Society. Then Saturday we'll be doing the cast game of Vampire, which may or may not have a prince in it. We will see.
Okay. That's why we couldn't join it, because I was looking for the other vampire games to try to join them, but it's the cast. Got it. Yeah, what time is it running on Sunday with the cast?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern.
There you go.
Got it.
7 o'clock Pittsburgh time, which is all that matters.
That's true. The only time that matters. It's always night in Pittsburgh.
I'm actually in the Call of Cthulhu game as well.
I know. I've had to go
I
through everybody's
sincerely
characters.
hope that you are able to call the Cthulhu. I've never played Call of Cthulhu.
No, you don't want to
it's-
call the Cthulhu.
That's the opposite of what you want.
It is an amazing horror role playing game.
I've only ever played D&D. This is like my first non D&D game. Kind of
really?
Badass. Yeah, it's awesome.
So this is your first vampire game ever.
First that I've played. I've watched
Okay.
a bunch and I've heard about a bunch, but yeah, and I've obviously watched the stream a bunch, but
Yeah.
this is my
This
first
is
vampire game, and I spent
Well, you
most of
do-
it at the bottom of an elevator shaft. It
You
was
were doing great right until you fell off
I
an
mean-
elevator.
You're not in torpor. You're not in torpor, so that's a win.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty badass. You
That
fell
was-
how many floors?
20, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
real
like
concern is that everybody's going to drop the elevator back on you trying to save
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It did occur to me, but I thought about it for a second longer.
If I found the Nosferatu, I would have said like you should have double tapped.
I almost wanted to hit like the emergency stop just to see what would happen.
I'm curious for everybody else who have you guys played Vampire before, but in a different edition, and like, how do you feel about the 5e rules?
I like 5e. It's pretty straightforward. It's just different.
Yeah.
This is my first time playing the pen and paper,
Okay.
but I've played the hell out of the Bloodlines computer game.
Sure.
Great
You
game.
excited for 2?
Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I think we usually play it on Fantasy Grounds, and I think Jared mentioned you guys to think about it. It works. You had mentioned it too. I think it works really, really good on Fantasy Grounds. So I think it's
Yeah, it worked good.
it's smooth, and I just like game mechanics that are easy, so you can play. And Fantasy Grounds, like that's why I don't know. Like, that's why I just click the browse button. It tells me it adds hunger if it fails. So.
Baby's back.
Oh, there we go. Is he going to be mad at you for telling us where the prince is?
You guys told him where the prince is?
Surprise. Clint is the prince.
I hope everybody had time to use the bathroom and eat a snack. Let's finish this, okay? So, my friend Bruno, you were about to fire on a helicopter that had just landed. How did you do, my friend? How did your attack roll go? How's that, sir? 2 successes. Okay.
Two.
So, yeah, I'm going to rule that your gun, which is the SMG you were using earlier,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of spray the side of this helicopter, and you're not sure yet how much damage it's doing because the guys inside aren't getting out yet. They're just kind of staying there. Maybe they're like yelling furiously into their headsets, but you can't tell.
Yeah, and I am trying to hit the helicopter, not the guys. I want to dismantle the helicopters is the goal.
I understand.
And
Interesting.
is there anywhere I can also move where I'm not just wildly in the open?
Well, there kind of isn't because now this happens. Someone is going to try to push you down the stairs that no one has managed to be able to see the entire
I tried.
time. You tried hard, and I hope you believe me. Scout's honor. I like it when players succeed, but you just didn't make it with your sense of the unseen. So Adelaide is going to try to push you down the stairs this turn after you've made your and oh my god,
19 successes.
no, try a critical fail.
Oh, she stepped in front of the bullets. I shoot her.
Push him down the elevator shaft.
Here's what I'm gonna rule. She's like literally like slinking out the door as you're like firing an SMG into a helicopter, like slinking out past you, and you are like Bruno. You're just like spraying so indiscriminately because you're such a psycho that you just wing her, right? And she's like, ah! And she comes out of obfuscate. And she's now like laying there at your feet. Okay, who was running upstairs? I believe it was yes. And
I was
yes.
just inside the outside door.
Yes. Okay, you guys are both up there. So new round. Adelaide is like at your feet. She's got like one bullet hole in the back of her fine designer dress. She almost made it past you guys, but she just crit failed her physical sneak to get past. Well, she was going to actually try to push Bruno down the stairwell, and maybe she shouldn't have taken that risk. So there she is before you. What is everybody going to do this turn? Let me start with Jackson Miller.
Do I still have claws and prowess and everything up, or is that a previous scene?
I'm going to call that a previous scene because that happened down in Elysium. So, but you may rouse to bring them up again if you'd like.
I'm going to rouse to bring just the prowess up at this point. I succeed. I'm going to try and grab her and bite for damage.
Okay, great. What is Bruno going to do?
The prince is at my feet.
Yes.
I am going to kick her head like I'm going for a field goal.
Okay, what is Oliver going to do?
Go Steelers.
You're just going to say go steal? Oh, okay, I get it.
No, sorry. No. I mean, wait. No, he won't. He doesn't give a shit about football. Oliver would like to get down on her level and would like to attempt to mesmerize.
Okay, great. He can try that. He can certainly try that. And then Rosie, you're going to run up, I assume, right?
Yeah, and also I was wondering, Jared, since we were trying to capture the prince, would I have thought to have brought a wooden stake with me?
I think that it's fair that you would have. And Rosie, I can tell you, since you're investigating this little balcony, this little kind of like a utility door, that it leads outside, and that it might be possible for someone with, say, like really good leaping and climbing skills to get to the roof that way.
I think I'll try it because I can jump 18 feet.
Okay, I think that it might take you. Still take you like this round of leaping, and then like one more to climb up there, because it is like 2 levels of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
But would you like to start trying that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
so
not?
you're going to make a Dex plus Athletics roll for me. I know what Adelaide is going to do. Let's start with people who aren't using firearms. Let's start with people who are using something that's not just a physical attack. That's what I mean. Not like just a melee attack. So let's see how Oliver's little ploy goes.
I just read mesmerize for like the first time, and this is going to go real well.
You think it is, eh?
Nope. All right. So she's a resisting vampire, I assume.
She is a resisting vampire.
So she gets intelligence resolve against my manipulation dominate.
Sure, she does. Yes, she does.
Okay.
And she, so you're talking to her, Oliver, and what are you saying to her before these guys close in and just start beating her down? What are you saying to her?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get down close to her. I'm just gonna look at her and kind of tilt my head, and I'm gonna say, "Come with us."
Okay, and she's going to say to you, like, listen to me. I am the one who can restore order to this city. I am the person that will make this city neat and tidy. I will put all of the dots on the I's, and I will cross all the T's. And she's talking to you about all the things that really matter to you suddenly, Oliver. And she's not only resisting your mesmerize, she's attempting a dementation on you. How many successes did you get?
That's a weird looking roll. It says 4 successes. I rolled 4 dice, but it looks weird. But it says 4 successes. There's stars involved.
You got a critical.
Yeah, I got 2 star onks and 2 nothings.
What, you got a critical?
If that's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
I have a red dot, and then I have 2 starred onks and a black dot.
Did you just critical the Prince of Pittsburgh on a mesmerize roll?
Sounds like.
Yes, and?
I'm just so disappointed in her, but proud of you guys. So you told her to come with you, right?
Come with us.
Okay. And she was kind of trying. I said dementation, but I apologize. What I really meant was that. But you critted. I can't do anything. You fucking critted me. So she kind of just sort of. I can't believe this is happening, but she kind of just stands up and kind of like surrenders herself to all of you and puts her like hands forward. All right, bruisers, do your worst. It's your turn. She was going to try to turn Oliver against you, but the dice have gone wonky.
I see her like relent, and I'm gonna pull back from what I was going to do from the attack. Like, I'm not gonna attack her if we've like socially subdued her.
Okay, Bruno.
The chances that Bruno's not going to attack her just because you socially subdued her is slim and none, and Slim just left.
Bruno is a psychopath. Jackson, Jackson, I really respect your choice. And now let's learn more about Bruno's choice.
He's just like, you were right. He's a psychopath. Oh, that's not a great roll. That's actually only 3 successes. That's a remarkably not good roll.
Okay, well, that happens sometimes. So what do you describe to me exactly what you're doing, Bruno?
Well, I was going to try to kick her, but she stood up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to gut punch her.
She goes down onto her knees. This breaks Oliver's mesmerized condition over her. How'd you do on your Dex plus Athletics roll, Rosie?
I rolled 3 dice and I got 3 successes.
Rosie, you're like on like outside the building on like 62 right now, and I need another Dex plus Athletics roll from you this round, and you're going to be coming up on the other side of the helicopter. Does that make sense? The helicopter's like across the roof. You're going to be coming up like behind them. They're paying attention to your friends who are currently gut punching the Prince of Pittsburgh in the stomach. And now, what's everybody going to do this round? Jackson Miller.
Now I'm going to try and just like grapple and bite.
Okay, and Bruno continuing to beat her down. Doc Hershey, what are you doing?
So I guess at this point, Doc will just move up to the top of the stairs and be like, we're clear back here. Nothing. Oh, who's that?
Oliver.
What? Well, I'm going to kind of freely turn to Bruno and say, that was unwise. And I'm going to bite 2 damage because that's what everybody else is doing, and it seems wise.
Biting to damage. We're basically trying to Diablerize our friend Adelaide Ross. Okay,
That's a fun word.
and
I'd like to
Adelaide, Diablerize. When you feed on another vampire, usually to gain their blood potency and power, Adelaide is going to run. She's going to run. So I would like for you all to make your attack rolls. First of all, Rosie, how'd you do on your roll?
This time I had 2 successes.
Okay, Rosie, that's enough. I'm going to say that you're currently peeking up over the edge of the building in your leather jacket, and you can kind of see like the landing gear of the helicopter right ahead of you. And you can do something to those guys or that helicopter next round. But right now, I want to know how everybody did on their attacks. So you said you were doing a bite attack, right? That's a little harder, isn't it?
I'm rousing up another physical dice, too.
I'm grappling.
You're going to roll a brawl attack, a strength plus brawl attack at -2, each of you guys. And she's just
so if I
going to
only
roll...
have 1 strength, then nothing happens, I'm assuming.
Can I just...
Yeah, that's well, you'll have 0 dice to roll. You can roll, actually, I think you can always roll 1 dice, but if it's a fail, like it's like a big fail.
Hey,
okay.
Jared, just to clarify, the plan is to grapple and bite. This round, it's the wraparound grapple.
Right. Okay. Understand. Okay. You're just grappling at first.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know, how many successes did you get, Jackson Miller? 4. How many successes did you get, Bruno?
7.
7. Okay. And how many successes did you do? Okay. You got 1 success. Okay. So, okay. She got, she didn't get enough to get away. She got 3, which is good. And you got 3, right, Jackson? You got 4. So if she had gotten like equal to you guys, I would have let her start running, right? Like if none of you had gotten more than 3, I would have let her start running. But all of you got an incredible amount of successes. So Jackson, you have her held. Bruno, you're biting.
Sure.
Okay. We said that our friend Oliver is also biting, right?
Sure.
I With the
I mean,
blood
he-
coming
he's
out, I go, "This is wise."
Oliver's hungry.
All right, guys.
Feed me, Seymour.
So here's what's happening. You guys are all suddenly feeding on Adelaide Ross. I'm gonna let Jackson. Jackson, do you want to bite her now?
If I'm biting for damage to send her to torpor. I'm not feeding from her.
Okay. What about Bruno? I want to know what they're biting for.
Oh, Bruno's
Sorry.
trying to kill her.
So he's biting for damage as well.
Yeah.
And Oliver, how about you?
Oliver's hungry.
Okay, great. Now what's going to happen is that a guy is getting out of the helicopter. He's got a big tank on his shoulder, and he's moving toward all of you.
Oh no.
Rosie, you are climbing up. So what's everybody going to do this round? Rosie, what are you going to do? You're on the other side of the helicopter from the guy that just got out of it.
I'm going to use my daunt and scream at the guy still in the helicopter, try and intimidate him. Fucking get out of here!
I love that. I love it. Okay, and then I want to know what Jackson is going to do.
I am holding her restrained with prowess, just trying to bite to put her to torpor. I do not want to kill her. Those were not our instructions.
Okay, Oliver, what are you doing?
I am. Yeah, I'm going to let go, and I'm going to follow Jackson on this and start to try and move her away from the landing pad.
Bruno? Biting to cause damage?
Bernie's inflicting damage, yeah.
And Doc, what are you going to do?
So Doc is now at the top, and he can see all this playing out, right? He's gonna just yell. He's gonna say, "Stake her, let's go!"
Okay. Here we go. Let's start with your daunt, Rosie. So you scream, "Get the fuck out of here!" And let's see. Yeah. Can you give me a presence plus your intimidation?
Okay. Two successes.
This guy got 3, so he's not listening to you. Okay.
Can I spend my last willpower and re-roll?
You may.
Let's see if I can get a couple more. That makes 3 successes.
Guys, unfortunately, I have to end the session soon, but I think we're just about to find out with this roll what ultimately happens to the Prince of Pittsburgh. The guy with the flamethrower is going to approach. He's like within firing distance, and he's like, "Put her down! Put her down!" What is Jackson Miller doing? He's just holding her, right?
Yep.
No problem. She remains held. What is Oliver Sorensen doing again?
Oliver's going to step through the door and stand between the flamethrower and the prince.
That's interesting. Bruno, what are you doing?
I am inflicting damage and assuming that they won't flamethrower their prince.
And Doc is like, "Stake her, stake her, stake
Yeah,
her." They won't flamethrower their prince, but they will flamethrower Oliver Sorensen to the tune of 4 aggravated damage.
I think that's it.
Oliver goes up in flames, and the guy is now like turning the flamethrower on you. I'm not going to bother with a bunch of damage rolls right now. You had Adelaide in your power. You were holding her tight. You were all kind of pawing at her, and she is like, I think very quickly, based on the amount of potence that Bruno's bringing, in torpor. And so now I want you to, if you would, narrate your epilogue. I think that you guys have succeeded in your mission. There's still this guy with a flamethrower. He's just taken out Oliver Sorensen, and he's waiting for a signal from Adelaide, but she's not moving anymore. What are you guys going to do? How does this end? I'm going to allow you to narrate how it ends. Take a moment and tell me what you think happens now as Oliver's corpse burns to ash in front of you.
Well, Oliver was able to get all the way to the top by the stairs so theoretically we can get all the way out via the stairs.
Right? Yeah.
I think we're going out near the steps. Kind of we're dragging the torpor prince and spraying gunfire behind us, and maybe we get lucky and one of the gunshots hits the flamethrower tank, and that guy has a bad ending.
What about you, Jackson? What are you thinking? How's he making this extraction?
I'm keeping Daunt up all the way down. Just like kind of leading as much as possible so that anyone who tries to attack has to like overcome it before they do. Heading down the stairs all the way to the exit, back down to the parking garage.
Okay, great. So you're gonna have to go back to let's see, it's like 60 and then 63 and go through the office and then down to 60 and then get back in the elevator. Is this the plan, guys? Is this what's happening?
Yeah, and I'll use my leap to catch up with the other guys. Maybe kick the flamethrower guy in the head as I pass him.
Oh yeah, he's not expecting you. Rosie, give me a strength plus brawl roll. I want that from you. Then I want rolls for you guys on your escape. Let's see how well the escape goes, right? So you've described going out the way you came in. You're going out of that garage again. Yep. So I want you to pick the person who would be the very best to lead you. And that person is going to roll. They're going to roll. Let's see. I think to get out of a building quickly and with great speed and cunning so that you are not kind of caught by any more guards or anything like that, I would love a wits plus stealth roll from whoever is leading you all out of the building.
That's probably me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think that what you've set up for yourselves is an incredibly difficult situation, Jackson. I mean, like, there were a lot of ways maybe to get at Adelaide or maybe like to take her back out, but she got out to the roof. There was the flamethrower guy. How did your attack go, Rosie?
3 successes.
Okay, Rosie took out the flamethrower guy from behind. He didn't even see her coming. So you're all like moving back through the building as quickly as you can. It's like a chase. It's a race against time to get out of here. I want 4 successes for you to get out of this building and into your van with her scot-free, with her body scot-free. I want 4 successes on this wits plus stealth roll, Jackson Miller.
I got 3.
Jackson,
willpower?
I already did.
Willpower?
I did get the 3.
Here's how I'm going to end the story, guys. And I want you to all know that you did an incredible job. You were fucking fantastic. You were brutal psychopaths, the lot of you. Lexi died. He went out the way a rock star wants to die.
Surrounded by fans.
That elevator opens into the parking garage, and you're looking at like 30 police officers in SWAT gear, and you're covered in blood, and you're holding the body of Adelaide Ross, and that's when they all just go, fire! And then we do the slow motion part of like the crime movie where the guy, that pays for his, final job. You all kind of go down in slow motion. But you're not mortals. You're vampires. So there's a chance that one day you will rise again. And that's where we're going to end. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jared. It was a good blast.
Thank you, Jared.
I really, really appreciated your gameplay. The little cat and mouse there was a lot going on behind the scenes to see if you could spot her. And her critical fumble kind of made the difference there. So
she walked into the gunfire.
You didn't get her back to carry blast furnaces. You were 1 success short. And to be honest, it was a little bit of a GM fiat at the end, right? Because we can't go another hour, unfortunately, or I wouldn't. We would have just role played every level of the building. But I really want to say how much I appreciate these players. If you find these guys, find David A. Robbins, Ryan Forbes, Amanda Golly, Galli, Sean Doremus, Anthony Tasnik, and our friend who went away. Who played Lexi? Where's Lexi? Well, find Lexi. Find
Brody had to take off.
Yeah, he had to go. Find them all on social media and give them a huge kudos and a hashtag Get Pink from us. Oh, John Broody, for their excellent gameplay today. The Prince of the City has been put into torpor, and so have these 6 vampires who may or may not ever rise again. Guys, thanks again. I'm going to say goodbye right now.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jared.
Jared.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
You guys were awesome. Okay, so that was that insane game. Adelaide Ross, a huge character in our stream, is gone right now for all intents and purposes. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer to talk to anybody who wants to talk, but I just want to say keep up with our schedule and find out about all the cool things we're doing by following us on Twitter and on Instagram. We are _stream of blood _ We're on Reddit at r/stream of blood, and join our Facebook group because we have a lot of conversations going on there all the time. That's the Stream of Blood Facebook group. Our title card illustration is by Will Pottorff. You can check out his Instagram, and he's also at willpottorff.com. That's POTTORFF. He's an amazing artist. He draws monsters better than anybody I know. And then would you also check out Ross Bryant, who made a cameo guest appearance earlier as Curtis Krieger. That guy does some of our art as well, and he's at Ross BB, at Ross BB on Instagram, where you can see tons of his art. Our theme music for Vampires of Pittsburgh is called Get Pink by Axel Kazis Taylor. You can search for them on SoundCloud or to hear more of their music. We want to give a special thanks to everybody who does our sort of marketing and promotion. Megan Arch, Sophia Otero, Sarah Carr, and Garrett Ross, and Greg Heaney for helping us out with these Gen Con games. Guys, that was a nuts, crazy game. It stretched on way longer than we normally play a game. I loved the players. I thought that they put a lot of thought and even when they were playing Psychopaths, they did it with panache. So I am sad that at the end I had to kind of just make it one roll to see if you escape, but I thought it was a beautiful, dramatic ending. They died for the revolution. Don't you understand? They died for the movement. And isn't that beautiful in a way? Or maybe it's just a bunch of dead bodies full of holes laying on the floor of a parking garage. You be the judge. You do the math. I'm here for a couple more minutes. If anybody has any questions or any comments. Okay, maybe not. That's no problem at all. We are back tomorrow with a special edition of the Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu ongoing actual play stream, and we'll be doing that at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Please join us for that because this one will be huge, everybody. We are going to meet the founders of the Neptune Society and witness their first adventure. Until next time, I am Jared Logan asking you, please, #GetPink.